right now while Joey looking down.
I'm
Bam, we
checking out the
live,
box
Joey.
scores. Got it. Coming to you live.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I see it.
Talking
Yep.
talking golf.
Yeah, man.
All
That's
sports
what
that
we
we're
do.
talking about, it's golf in
Off
January.
tonight. I mean, it's hey, don't tell nobody we playing fantasy golf, but we're doing it for y'all.
Hey,
So y'all can know what's going on for the masses.
Doing it for you. The
that's the thing
people.
is,
The old Bane. The people. We're doing it for you.
do not get on the Bane voice.
Gracious. All right, everybody. Big things coming up. We got the NFL divisional round playoffs this week and the Natty. The Natty's coming up on Monday on MLK Day, which is also a big day for basketball. Always a big day for basketball. You first games you're gonna have got the Atlanta game and the Memphis games. They always play. Got the MLK jersey. So it's a big day of sports coming up. You got the Aussie Open down there in Australia, the first major tennis tournament of the year. Hopefully, my man's. He already broke a record. I think he broke Federer's record yesterday or something.
Oh, did
So,
he? I haven't even. Let me look.
some record. I quickly glanced over it because, not gonna lie to you, I have been inundated with science fair all week. It's
There
been
you
my
go. There you go, JP.
not even the judging part. It's like getting students projects, turn them into videos,
There you
turn
go.
YouTube. It's been it's just the beginning. They haven't even started, right? But anyway, but now it's time
Looking.
for some sports. Time for some sports talk now, baby.
Hey, big day for politics on Monday, too.
Oh God, we're not even gonna talk about that. That's the one thing in the CJ squared sports and stuff we kind of leave on the shelf. Though every once in a while you will hear us make some remarks that'll make you think.
There it is, and we're not going to say anything else.
Yep, we just
Well,
throw it out there for
just
you to
drop one
take it the
little
way
hint.
you want to.
Nothing else.
No, the big it's a big day.
It's gonna
I didn't
be.
take
It's
Didn't
gonna
he
be
do?
freezing.
Didn't he do a to his last inauguration? Didn't he do a form of Bane speech?
he may
A
have.
Bane
Oh
speech to
yeah, I think
Gotham.
He
he should
may
have wore
have.
the mask. He comes out with
All
a
I
mask.
know is if you guys have Sirius XM radio over the last month, I've heard advertisements for the watches,
Yes, I've heard him too.
the sneakers,
Yes, yes.
and it's something else. The watch, the
Cologne.
sneakers, and the cologne.
Cologne.
It's called Fight, Fight,
Fight,
Fight.
fight, fight.
I'm gonna leave it at there, people. I'm just gonna leave it at there.
Here
Hey.
it says Trump basically quoted Bane
Oh,
in
don't
an
say that.
inauguration speech.
He quoted
Say his
Bane.
name, man. That's like Voldemort on our show. You can't say his name.
Oh, I
It's
mean,
like, or
the one we don't speak of.
what's worse, Voldemort or Mufasa? Mufasa.
Oh my gosh. And he also um oh my goodness, what I was about to say. I know he's going now. I think as we get further and further away, George W. Bush is looking like his administrations did not do so well, but he made a classic comment after after Trump's inaugural speech. He looked at Michelle Obama and said, that was so weird.
Yeah.
That
He
was,
said,
that was is that what like I said at the beginning?
yeah,
That was weird.
that was weird. He just stole, that's where we found it from. Old George
Joey,
George
Joey,
W.
did he really say that?
He said that. He really said that to Michelle Obama. That was some weird ass.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Well,
He's
Gonna
like,
get-
what the
it's
F
gonna-
is he talking about?
Hey, it's gonna get weirder, man. It's gonna get.
Yes, it is. Yes,
All
it
right.
is.
So speaking of the 20th, something else that we're gonna talk about the national championship. Ohio State is a 9.5 point
Wow.
favorite.
Too much, Vegas. Come on.
They're showing Notre Dame no respect.
None at all.
Oh,
Did Texas give the Golden Domers the blueprint to beat them? Because if Texas didn't allow like 1 or 2 plays, they win the game. How do you let that guy go for a touchdown at the end, a 70-yard touchdown? I mean,
Oh
big
my
play
gosh.
guy.
Yeah.
There's no way you have let that play happen at that time of the game.
You have to know where that guy is when he's in there. Have to know.
That play though, like you have to know that you're trying to stop them from having a big play. And
Yeah,
you just give
don't
up
let him break
give up
one like that.
after you score, you have all this momentum and it's just gone. But
I mean, that
anyway,
game was closer than I expected. They still covered though, right? I think
Ohio State covered. Yeah, what's the final score?
they covered, but it was close for. It was close for.
I mean,
Let
the
me
score
see.
was 21-14
21,
when
21.
Texas had the ball first and goal.
Right.
Now, I gotta agree with Buttons on this one. That all year on first and goal, on first and short, you brought in Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Why don't you bring in Arch Manning there? And why on the second play you run the worst play possible? Pitch out to a guy who's already behind he's way back behind the line of scrimmage, and he gets stopped.
I mean, usually Sarkisian play call wise they're normally pretty good, but I would question.
I'm gonna tell you this:
play calls.
Ohio State 2 games they won with goal line stances. Defense played good, but the play call in both those games was terrible.
Little tight. Little bit.
Right? I mean, come on, man. Why? You're the Eagles. First and goal. On a 1. What are you doing? You're doing tush push. You know why?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they crap work every time for you. Why not you, Texas? Why not you? Why not go to that when you need it? But anyway, I digress. When Ewers is going to the NFL,
Great choice. I think.
He is. He's out. He's done.
I think that's a great choice. They said it was up to
I mean, the
$8
thing
million.
is that the thing with Ewers is that it's an extremely weak quarterback class. So he's gonna. I mean, everyone's saying, well, why wouldn't you stay in and make more money? I mean, long term, you get it. I mean, I don't think he's cared about an extra couple million when most. I mean, he probably doesn't go in the first round in a lot of classes. He might get up in the mid first in this.
Right. I mean, he might. There are quarterback needy. If you the Raiders,
Yeah.
if you're the Raiders right now, and you saying, you know what? What do we
Well, because you think about Titans, who knows what they're going to do with Levis? Giants, we know need a quarterback. Raiders, that's 3 teams that right there that draft early that for sure need a quarterback. And we could probably go through and find a lot more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at last year. We didn't think Atlanta was taking a quarterback.
Sure didn't.
I don't think we had all those guys in the first round, did we?
Well, because you look at teams like Denver. You look at a team like Denver, who is everyone's like, oh, you know, Nix is not going to be the guy. They make the playoffs in 1 year.
Yep.
So
and the big deal with Nix is just like yours, just like Dylan Gabriel, he has played snaps. They may not be the same physical specimen as Anthony Richardson, but that experience goes a long way.
Experience.
The only thing with Quinn Ewers though that worries me, he don't like to move.
Well, like I said, is if he has a clean pocket, he can pick you apart. He's got the arm, but if he gets any type of pressure.
But who in the NFL has a continual clean pocket?
Yeah,
not the Giants.
Not the
Yeah,
Giants.
and especially if you're going, and that's the thing is if he goes to a team later where it's a better team, it's probably better for him. Where if he gets to a team early that has no offensive line, it's gonna be a disaster.
He gonna be David Carr,
Yeah,
not Derek Carter.
Not
David
Derek Carter.
David Carter.
David Carter.
Derek Carter. All right. Okay. All right. Guys, who you got? Who you guys got? Is Joey finally gonna spend the whole next season going be Ohio State University?
You gotta
Ryan,
say that if they win, Joey.
Is Ryan Day gonna finally make it into your good graces?
Joey was ready to fire him.
He was done.
After the Michigan game,
the ultimate troll will be when they win it and they talk trash to Michigan and they say, "But we beat you."
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean that they can't take that away from him.
Definitely can't.
I'll go for
that rivalry. Is that more important than beating each other or the national championship?
Oh, the Natty.
I mean, they would argue, but I would still say, other than outside of Ohio State and Michigan fans, most fans would still say
the national championship.
I'd rather. I mean, to them though, it might be Michigan. The way that they're about to fight. I can't see them doing that in the national championship.
Now, Michigan may troll them and say, "We're the real national champions. We beat you."
True.
Very true. To me, I have to go Ohio State. There's a reason there's 9. They're a 9-point favorite. I mean, just the roster in general is just loaded up and down. So, I mean, but the thing is Notre Dame, every time they get tested, they respond. It looked like in the end of the first half, it looked like Penn State was going to blow them out. It just kind of felt that way. The energy felt that way. And then Riley Leonard couldn't get anything going at all. Mm-hmm. They bring in the second, Riley Leonard goes out. They bring the second guy in. He kind of figures out a way, because he can't run, he figures a way to kind of move the ball. Mm-hmm. And then they're a completely different team in the second half. It looked like it was the opposite. It looked like Notre Dame was going to run away with it. Mm-hmm. Love the running back for Notre Dame. I mean, the thing with Notre Dame is you watch Leonard, Love, they got a lot of guys who will not back down, or you know what I mean? Like Ohio State is they're not going to be too big for this moment or for Notre Dame. And that's what I say is that a team like Notre Dame, if you keep them around, they're going to stay in the game and they may find a way to win. I would imagine 9 is a lot of points, and maybe Ohio State.
You're saying they're going to cover, basically.
But I could definitely see them cover. And I wouldn't even be that surprised if Notre Dame finds a way to go out and win this game, because the thing with Ohio State is we've seen they always have the best roster.
Yes.
They're by far the best roster, but they've lost 2 games this year.
I mean, they got the first Oregon game. Yeah, okay, you understand. In Oregon was a number 1 ranked team, but that Michigan team, Michigan was getting skull drug all year.
And even you look at Texas, that game is a red zone away, a couple plays from being tied, and then who knows what happens at that point. So, I mean, just because you walk in and you're the best on roster, the thing is I still do not trust Will Howard at all. He's the one guy I just don't trust and the thing is Jeremiah Smith I felt like he didn't do anything the other game.
Oh, they played him like he was a pro.
They bracketed him up.
The coverage, safety over the top.
And I think that's what Notre Dame will do. The key with Notre Dame is that we talked about this in the Penn State game is, can they create turnovers? That scares me because I don't want to bet on a team. It's like betting on a team that has to hit threes in March Madness, because if they go cold, how are they going to win if they're not doing that? The same with Notre Dame. For me, it's but Will Howard will turn the ball over. So I feel like if Notre Dame can turn them over and do what they've been doing all season, then I feel like it could be a game. I still got to go Ohio State just because I feel like the roster is better. 9 is a lot of points, I feel like, but I wouldn't be surprised in any of these outcomes because it's a national championship. I think Marcus Freeman is a guy who's going to get his guys ready to play. So I feel like I go Ohio State. I'm really just hoping close game and maybe comes down to the end. I just don't want to see a blowout either way.
It looks like, man, I mean, Ohio State gives up passing defense. Ohio State is 1, Notre Dame is 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
running.
Hold on. Let's see.
So the thing is, Riley Leonard just does not push the ball. I mean, he's just not a guy who throws the ball over the field. That's just not who he is.
Yeah.
Running the ball, Ohio State was number 3 in the country. Believe it or not, the number 1 team against the run was Indiana this year.
Okay.
Notre Dame they can be had on the ground. It looks like they're not even.
Yeah, I think they're low. They're like
yeah, they're outside the.
I think they're outside of the 50, I think.
Yeah.
So Notre Dame has probably not seen an offense like this the entire season. They probably have not. I mean, Penn State is really good on defense, but I mean, Ohio State's probably the best defensive team in the nation also.
Yeah.
They're best on both.
Gives up 133 points per game. I mean,
Okay.
yards.
So Notre Dame has not been in this position yet.
But Penn State, great running team.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like they just marched up and down the field against them. So, I think Notre Dame probably can be had a little bit on the ground. But, I mean, again, I think Ohio State, I would even think Notre Dame would say, has got the better on paper roster. But I would say probably Penn State has a better roster than Notre Dame does.
Notre Dame, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think they just find a way to keep the game close and then rely on maybe a play here or there to turn the game around.
Yeah.
I know Ohio State definitely got the better playmakers on
there
for the quarterback.
Everywhere.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't even know. I mean, Notre Dame has some guys on the line. I think they've got NFL players. They don't have NFL wide out running back level like Ohio State.
Not this year.
They're not hitting you with big time.
Not this year. They didn't have home run hitters. There's not one home. Well, I mean, they're running back, but that running back's not going to do that against this Ohio State defense.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State's got 4 home run hitters that can take it to the crib at any moment.
Yeah, they do.
They probably have more than that.
They probably do. Mm-hmm. Guys that
you got to think Carnell Tate was a top. He doesn't even get the ball out.
Yeah.
And
he was the reason they were moving the ball against Texas, though.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is you're not even probably counting guys that we're not even thinking of.
Man, they are just.
But the thing is that they were a red zone away, a play in the red zone away from being tied up against Texas.
They were.
And I don't think that they marched up and down the field against Texas the way we thought they were going to.
Right.
I thought they would murder Texas. So, I wouldn't be surprised if any of these outcomes, I feel like, just because, I just don't think, if you took Penn State in this game, I feel like Ohio State just has their number.
All the time.
With Notre Dame, but we have seen Notre Dame lay down. Remember the national championship against Alabama? Horrible.
Lay down.
That was the whole Manti Te'o.
Well, after the Colt hit, excuse me. I'm actually thinking about when Texas laid down.
You think about Texas because that was after Colt McCoy got hurt, it was a done deal.
Lay the old down.
He was this. Well, what's Teo's girlfriend's, Joey?
Leilani Kukua.
That's right.
Leilani Kukua.
She killed it. She killed it for him. Do it for me.
I
Like
love you.
that's a dude. I watched the Netflix documentary on it.
I haven't watched that yet. Joey, so I'm sure you got Ohio State, right?
JB, Chris and JB,
Huge.
if Ohio State wins, I will go back to calling them the Ohio State the entirety of the next football season, and I will definitely be giving. I've already apologized to Ryan Day, but I like to think that I have motivated him to.
How did he receive it?
better.
Oh, he was motivated.
I motivated him, Chris, to be better. I will be happy for him because this will completely bring him out of Urban Meyer's shadow.
He texted you the old eyeballs.
Tell me this.
The JB eyeballs.
Ryan Day texted you the eyeballs.
Is this JB or is this Ryan Day?
Hey, look. Here's a big question for y'all. Then we move on to the next Chris setup question that he sent on this show. Ryan Day wins the Natty, loses to Michigan next year. What's the outcome?
He is fine.
You think he's good? He won't get fired?
He will be fine.
Okay.
Joey's ready to always
he will be
Day
fine
until now.
Okay.
Unless the boosters are just like, look, we have the best team money can buy. Let's just go try to find us a Barry Switzer and just plug them in. and the talent will take care of everything else.
I got it. Okay. I was just wondering because, somebody, Ryan, yep.
Lay down.
All right. Cowboys question. How about them Cowboys? It's
juicy.
Buttons probably needs to be on for this one.
I'm gonna. The question y'all had is, who is a better fit for the Cowboys job, Kellen Moore or Deion? My answer: neither.
They're both interviewing.
Yeah, why? Deion coming there? Why? It's not going to change the culture. We're not going to. He's going to do all that rah stuff you do in college talk track. They're like, dude, I'm getting paid $100 million. What are you talking about? Like, who are you talking to?
Well, all right, you throw in. It should have been Kellen Moore, Deion, or another one of your choices.
Okay, I have no choices. I don't care. I don't care who coaches the Cowboys right now because as long as Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones are running the show and being so hands-on and not just letting the coach and pick the players and get the team together, it's not going to matter. Cowboys are going to be right there. Obviously the division is going to be tougher. Now you got Hurts, then you got Daniels. The Giants could be looking at getting a new quarterback. What you going to do? I don't know. Really? Like this year, offense trash, defense trash. Tell him we're going to fix that. Deion going to fix that. Deion ain't got no NIL money.
No. True.
Between these two, I would go Kellen Moore. At least when Kellen Moore was there, the Cowboys offense was like number one in the league. Not number one offense in the league.
Yeah.
Top three. A couple of those years. So at least offense is going to be fixed, but the culture and the defense, I don't know.
Right.
It don't matter to me.
You're neither.
I don't care. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. I have not cared. Interview. Oh, okay, whatever. I'm not excited about nothing. They can even get Ben Johnson. I don't care.
Yeah.
Now, you say Aaron Glenn, you may start piquing my interest because I know Aaron Glenn is a defensive coach. I don't care about the Cowboys offense. If they got CD, if CD's healthy, Dak's healthy, they get another wide receiver or running back, they gonna put up numbers with an AS.
Yeah.
Okay. Numbers is gonna get put up.
Yep.
Numbers, not numbers. Numbers are gonna get put up, right?
The numbers.
But the defense is hemorrhaging like they did in the playoffs against Green Bay and how they started this year. Going back to my one of my favorite sayings, and Joy know what I'm talking about. It just doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
He protested.
It don't matter who the coach is.
It doesn't matter who the coach is.
That's my rant, right? Because it don't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay.
I will say, Kellen Moore seems like the obvious choice, which is probably why he won't go, and then they'll do something like Deion, because Deion is a
Jeff Saturday.
He's a splash move that Jerry Jones loves to do.
Right. So he can, I don't know if y'all know this, right? Jerry Jones was on a TV show recently.
I heard about that.
I watched it. It's like, what the heck? Dude, why are you doing the show? Something with the team.
I heard he did. I heard he was amazing on it.
He was just talking about, he was just talking about his real life.
Yeah.
But was it Love is Blind?
No. It was Dumb and Dumber Part 3.
Yeah.
It was Dumber Part 3. It's a show called Landman show too.
Oh, I actually saved that. I want to watch it. I heard
Yeah.
Watch it. It's a good show.
That's what I've heard.
It gives you an idea of the oil game. You're like, yo, the oil game that's a different hope.
Billy Bob Thornton, is he like the good guy?
Man.
Or it's not really like that?
No, I would say if you were looking at it and analyzing it from a language arts perspective, he would be the protagonist.
Okay.
And what about John Hamm?
Oh, he's just an ancillary character.
Okay.
Oh, okay. He's not like a guy you're supposed to. He's not a huge deal on either end.
So he's a huge deal, but he's not like the story is the story. Okay, a landman is the guy who kind of like runs the land where the oil field is, and so Ham plays the owner of the oil field.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
And the president of the company, Thornton, he plays the actual landman that does all these deals and got to deal with the cartel, got to deal with the lawyers. It's a
decent show. I have it saved to watch, so I'll definitely get on.
It does sound good.
Demi Moore is on there too. You don't even know it's her. How she talking, but then I had to look it up. Demi Moore, because I'm like,
oh really?
Okay,
man.
Okay. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a good show. I just finished watching the final episode the other day. The ending was good.
Yeah,
I'm on it. I got it saved.
Yeah, but Jerry Jones on there.
I heard I heard
this is a good job, man.
Some guys who are Commanders fans like, man, he did an excellent job. I was like, oh,
of course they are.
Okay, interesting.
Did you see? Just for y'all answer this question, did y'all see when the Cowboys played the Commanders that last game how the Commanders had a 4th and something, and as Mariota is running down the field, the Cowboys safety is like this, like they stopped him. Then he realized, oh, he's breaking free.
Oh, geez.
I didn't see that.
I
gotta stop him.
That perfectly summarized their season.
Yes, it did.
in Budden's fashion, Chris. You got it. Hey, Shooter McGavin.
Old Shooter. Yeah, I think for me, I don't even know I think they probably do, like you said, I think they probably do need a defensive minded guy, because that's kind of been where their bigger issues have lied over the last couple of years, even when they have been really good on the offensive end. But Kellen Moore seems like a guy that they would, he's been there. So I think just kind of like Jason Garrett, like it's a comfortable thing to sign a guy who's they know, and you already know how he works. So yeah, and then I feel like Deion is just a guy that would be a big splash that Jerry Jones probably doesn't need to make, but I could see him making. And I think that Deion, for all that he brings positive to Colorado, I feel like him going to the NFL is a bad move because everything that makes him great at the college level, he loses in the NFL because he can't out recruit. You're basically stuck where you're drafting. Maybe he gets free agents, but money talks. That's the bigger thing.
The only thing is with that is how Deion gonna get free agents when Jerry Jones don't want to spend? Like Jerry Jones had an opportunity. That dude saying, "Hey, I want to come to Dallas." Derrick Henry basically said, "I would like to go in Dallas."
He lives in Texas.
He was like, we ain't got the money."
Yeah.
You know, okay, he may not have had the season he had in Baltimore.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me that if you had him to start the year, how you started off with your offense and being all crappy, and you had Zeke Elliott running the ball more than Uncle Rico.
At least Uncle Rico.
It would have made a difference.
Right.
It would have made a difference. I mean,
he
you may not
is a difference maker.
But say what?
He is a difference maker.
And you would maybe Dak don't get hurt because Dak ain't pushing himself every freaking game.
Possibly.
Maybe you hand the ball to Derrick Henry a couple times and trust him to get some yardage. I mean, Derrick Henry played with sorry teams in Tennessee, and he still was getting yardage.
Because he was the king.
Yeah, I mean, crown him. Yeah, listen, man, Jerry, man.
And he still is, apparently.
What does Deion say? Deion said he wants to come to the pros. He wants to play with he want to coach his son. I'll tell you right now, if Jerry Jones signs Deion and they draft Shedeur Sanders and they send Dak away, I'm done. I'm done.
No, there is no way he does that.
I'm done. I'm not going to no other team. I'm gonna be like, you, Chris, I won't have a team. I'm just gonna bet. I'll get rid of all this cowboy crap. And y'all think
I know you're not.
Done.
Just straight fantasy. That's it.
I know you're not.
I may go to a game, but I ain't going to. I may go to a game with my daughter because we already said that we're gonna kind of go to a Cowboys game every second game. I'll go just to go with her, but I ain't wearing no jersey.
The whole game, he's just
fire sale.
Listen, even at the game this year, I was sitting there, Cowboys getting destroyed, but I was like, Alvin Kamara put up a 40 burger for me right now.
There you go. Pleasure and pain.
So I was good. So I'm so serious, y'all. Y'all think I'm playing?
No, you're not.
I won't even come on here and have no rants about it. I just be like, all right, we good.
That's okay. Okay.
You're just like, hold on, someone's here to buy some of my Dallas stuff. I'll be back in a minute. Hold on.
I will sell my Dallas stuff. I would still keep it. But you just ain't gonna see it. I got all these Dallas. I got Dallas Funko Pop. I got Dallas.
Oh my goodness!
I got so much Dallas stuff in my basement. It's sickening.
You won't do a bonfire?
No, never.
Like
I'm not some Midwestern.
Like when Luke burned Vader.
Yeah, I'm not no disgruntled Midwestern person. I'm not believing that way. I'm gonna throw a pile of the Cowboys stuff in the yard and burn it. I'm gonna burn jerseys. No, never.
There's a bonfire happening in Woodbridge.
Never.
That got out of hand.
I still got Romo jerseys hanging up in my closet. I never
burn them, JB.
I'll never do that.
Burn it down.
Burn it down. All right, Joey, who you got going for Dallas?
Well, I just don't see why Prime would want a job. I agree with what JB said. Prime is too big of a personality for Jerry Jones. And even though Prime helped the Cowboys, become one of the greatest football teams ever, Jerry Jones, it's Jerry Jones's team. He ran 2 Hall of Fame coaches out because he wanted to let them know this is my team. And he may have suffered because of that. Maybe they would have more Super Bowls If he, as you've always said, Chris, if he just lets the football guys do the football thing, I think Dallas would be in a position to win as much as they possibly want to. I mean, they are. I give him credit for this. I know JB doesn't always agree. I think that he does want to spend money in order to win. I mean, they're the most. Isn't their team high? Yes.
Yes. It's
worth the
highest
most in
value
professional sports.
franchise in the world.
Absolutely. So I would think that he's going to try to do everything that he can in order for them to win, but it's going to be the way that he wants, regardless of what the football people do. Dion, Prime is too big of a personality. Prime he's like Tuna, and he's like Jimmy Johnson. It's got to be based on what the owner wants. That's why Kellen Moore will be perfect, because Kellen Moore would be the next, as Chris Carter said, the fall guy. Kellen Moore would be the next fall guy until they just move on to the next one.
I mean, you just don't have no stability. Like, you have 9 coaches. You got Pittsburgh Steelers that had like 3 coaches the whole franchise.
Absolutely.
And other teams get good coaches. They have rough years. This is stupid. And watch McCarthy get hired somewhere like, he'll go to Chicago and they'll be better next year.
I think he fits with Chicago perfectly.
Yeah, they'll be better. I
think that'll be a really good hire for them. And I give McCarthy credit for coaching his butt off when it seemed like the season was lost early. Those players, they were hanging in there, and they played for him.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I ain't never had no hate for McCarthy.
I hear you.
Never. I ain't never. It's like he ain't the defensive coordinator. Like, when they played last year against Green Bay, that on him?
Right.
Dan Quinn. Some guy said Dan Quinn did it on purpose. Like, he just
He's
I don't watch that game. That had to be like the worst defensive game that a home team. You know, they showed a graphic. They showed 2 versus 7 seeds. Only one team got beat.
Only one.
And they got slaughtered.
Only one.
Come on, man. Hey, come on, man.
McCarthy deserves a lot of credit for that. That's one of his best.
This guy.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. I already talked about that, Buns. I already talked about how Ohio State and their goal line stances. The guy was like, "Oh, Ohio State, they played good in the goal line all year." Yeah, because they had dumb coaches calling plays against them.
Horrible. They would have won.
Buttons, me and Joey were talking. I don't think. Would you say Arch, as when he's played, is anywhere near the level of Caleb Williams when he first started playing? I don't think it's close.
I would
Caleb Williams is way better.
I would say no, but I've seen a lot of flashes.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that. I mean, I wouldn't say that he looked way better than Quinn Ewers at this point.
I know when
Caleb, he runs better for sure.
Definitely. He's a playmaker, Chris. They need playmakers.
Look, when Caleb Williams started, when he took Joey Manziel's job,
immediately,
that dude exploded on the scene.
Immediately.
Like,
yeah, but I think that's what I was expecting from Arch with so much of the hype. I think I was expecting to be. He's looked good. I just don't.
They never gave him a chance, Chris.
But yeah, but even against, remember he played Louisiana Monroe. He still looked pretty good, but he doesn't look like Caleb Williams level at this point. But I mean, not to say you can't
wait till next year.
I mean, next year, I still think he could be really good, and I think he can run better than Ewers. That's the one thing is we've talked about Ewers in the pocket. Like I was just telling JV, I watched that the Swamp, I was talking about how they kept bringing Tebow in for Chris Leak. This is kind of the same type of thing where, sometimes you just got to, because of the different look it gives you.
They would bring Tebow in for the goal line.
If a play needs to be made, you bring in a playmaker. playmaker.
Yeah.
I will
I think
agree with
Ewers-
that because
Ewers
Ewers
works
doesn't
best
move
when
that
he
well.
has playmakers around him.
Bingo.
Does.
And I think that, I mean, they were playing with their third and fourth and fifth string running backs, I believe. Like that, all their stars got hurt at the beginning of the year in Texas. And I think one of the keys though with Caleb Williams, when he came on the scenes, the Big 12 really wasn't playing defense back then. Y'all know what I'm saying? It was people were scoring big points. And then the SEC, that's a little different. Like,
Yeah, I will agree with that. And I think that Caleb Williams, the style of play, I think the one thing when you watch film on him and what the knock on him was the certain stuff that he was getting away with in college, holding on the ball too long.
Yeah.
Like that style was it was going to be very like fan friendly as far as highlight type of stuff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden this stuff is now, it's not transitioning. He's going to have to, kind of learn how to get rid of the ball and not necessarily always rely on the big play, where Arch may not necessarily have the massive highlight reels, but he still, gets it done and, and moves the ball along, where they were saying even Caleb Williams, there's times where he had a play that was right in front of him. He would hold the ball looking for the massive highlight play. And that's now ended up costing him, I think, at this level.
I know with Caleb Williams, when he first started playing, from where he first started playing and where he is now, it looks like a totally different person. Because like he almost lost some explosiveness. Like, because in college, man, he would run and he's like
did whatever he wanted.
Yeah, exactly. And then in pros, he's running all hunched over. And
looks a little different, JB. However, I have seen some footage of him making masterful throws.
Oh, there's times where he's going to his left and he does almost that Jordan looking like the Jordan pose where he's like jump. He still had stuff that's like
he's made some. I mean, I wouldn't. You can't poo-poo on his season, right? I mean, people will knock him because of how Knicks and Daniels did and made the playoffs, but he still probably has the highest upside of all of them, going forward.
Totally agree, JB. Could not agree more. Also, Chicago got very severely unlucky last year. They lost 7 or 8 one-score games. They had that miracle in Washington, that fool's gold team up there, okay, with that Hail Mary BS, okay? Caleb Williams next year, that's a playoff team, trust me.
Okay. With Mike McCarthy there?
Yeah.
Also, though,
if he goes there, all bets might be off. But
hold on, Buttons.
Oh, he's a McCarthy hater.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Chicago is probably, outside of the AFC North, they're in the toughest division.
Yeah.
And what are they going to do to get over their hump of Detroit and maybe the Vikings step back next year? And then Green Bay. Oh, because everybody's right. Everybody loves Green Bay, right? But Green Bay got a problem. It's called, I don't know. It's called, maybe you paid my man a little bit too early. Maybe Love ain't as good as everybody thought he was going to be. He's still doing those back foot passes.
Something's missing there. It might be.
They want to play that, we got all these good receivers and puzzles, but you don't sometimes you got to have a big dog.
Yeah, but I think that's a little bit of their problem is they don't have a guy like Button says when you need a playmaker. I just don't think they have a guy that they can say, hey, go get me a touchdown. Like, remember when Rodgers with Adams? I feel like Rodgers knew if I need a touchdown, if I need a guy to go to here, I'm just saying, hey,
all of Rodgers 1-yard touchdowns. Like, he leads the whole NFL all time in 1-yard touchdowns. His greedy ass.
I did not know that, JB. I'm going to look that up.
I believe 1-yard touchdown passes, Rodgers is the number one guy in the history of the league.
When you have Devontae Adams on the outside, it makes it.
It definitely makes a huge difference.
He had good running backs. He's just greedy, Chris.
True. But I will say in Chicago, now looking back, I felt like Odunze was a luxury pick, and I think he will end up being really good.
He could be the number 2 next year.
I think that
number 1.
was that a luxury picks that they probably, I think you're having to think for the future, but right now that's probably wasn't their biggest need is where a third receiver really, right?
It was a luxury because their defense took a step back this year. Their defense was supposed to be able to play better, but they didn't. Their defense, like last year, when the year ended last year, they were playing really good and they were solid and they brought in some guys from free agency. And this year, the defense just wasn't showing up like they did last year.
Well, and the offensive line.
And the offensive line.
Oh, Lord. O-line. But, it's NFL, Joey, Chris, Buttons. In your O-line, I mean, unless you playing some bums, you ain't going to get that, protection with a guy sitting back there looking around. Right. The ball's your hand.
Yep.
Get it out. 2.5 seconds. Get it out.
If you know your line can't block, don't call plays where your guy got to hold the ball 5 seconds.
Get it out.
Mm-hmm.
Or don't call plays where your guy got to stay in the pocket.
Get it out.
The interim OC for Chicago, he was a North Stafford head coach for like 3 years.
Are we talking about the guy who went from quarterbacks coach to OC to head coach?
The Chris Beatty guy, he's the interim head. He's the interim head coach. Okay. So he must have been like the wide receivers coach, I think.
Coach, yeah. And then when the quarterback coach got moved up to head coach, he took over the OC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he was the North Stafford coach from like 90
was a dumpster fire.
From 99 till like 2000. They said at the time that he was there, he took Lansdowne, which is where Percy Harvin was at.
Yeah.
He took them. They were number 9 in the country.
Hey.
So as a high school guy, then he's just moved the way up from.
Yeah, they going now. All that stuff he did,
and he probably get fired because
they made clean house.
That's a dead man walking job right there. I wouldn't even.
They made clean house now.
Because there's no way middle of the season you can really do that much.
Coach.
I mean, he probably says, "Hey, I might never get this chance again." So, but really, you're not going to really be able to change a lot in game 9 or 10.
Yeah,
I wouldn't think. But it's still cool to know a guy that came from North Stafford is.
It's definitely too bad that he gone.
Yeah, I would think for sure.
His buttons, poof.
Yeah. He out probably.
Buttons, let me ask you real quick. You actually think Deion should go to Dallas?
Don't get muted, Buttons. Be careful.
Look, JB, I've got you.
Very careful, Buttons.
JB, I've got you.
I
do not think that, to answer this question, I do not think the timing is right. Look, I love Deion. You guys know that, okay?
Oh, you do. We know that.
And I think at the right time,
he
could be fantastic in Dallas. As long as the owner is the owner, that's never going to happen. And here's how I know that, okay? Number one, he fired a head coach after winning 2 Super Bowls in a row. I'm going to repeat that. He fired the head coach after he won 2 Super Bowls in a row.
Yep.
That's a mistake.
That's a mistake.
Number two, he always has to have his pulse on the team.
Always.
He has to have his thumb over the head coach. Now, you can't put your thumb over a high personality, high profile guy like Deion Sanders. Like Joey said before, he took the words right out of my mouth. I got them written right here. Okay. Big personality, strong personality. It doesn't mesh well. Okay.
Nope.
He'll be gone in a couple years too because it doesn't mesh. You need a guy that can be controlled by upstairs, which is like a Kellen Moore. I'm not sure if Cliff Kingsbury would be.
Oh, no, don't break him there. Oh, no.
All I'm saying, JB, is I've heard his name thrown out there. That's why I say it. That's all.
Please.
Okay.
I'd rather have Kellen Moore. Cliff Kingsbury's offense is pretty predictable.
Yep. So my answer is for the question is Kellen Moore, for sure.
Yeah. Right now, look.
More likely.
Deion plus 100 odds. Kellen Moore plus 250.
I don't
Kingsbury
think
plus 350. Ben Johnson plus 450. Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator for Buffalo, plus 550. JB's boy Aaron Glenn plus 650.
It just doesn't seem
So-
like, as I heard Troy Aikman say the other day, it's not a desirable job right now.
Who want to go there and you got to deal with the nonsense?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It's not a desirable
And
job.
you got the coach saying, "Oh, Derrick Henry, we had the money for Derrick Henry. You can't move some stuff around for Derrick
Uh-huh.
Henry, really?
Definitely could have brought
You
him.
want the highest worth franchise in
gonna
North
bring
American
in-
sports?
Then you gonna bring in Zeke Elliott.
Yep, sure did. Because Zeke still got gas in the tank.
Yeah, he got gas in the tank. All right, the car driving like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember at the gas station when you see the regular unleaded, the mid-grade, and the premium, and then you see that other one that's like super cheap, but you don't really know why nobody puts it in their car. That's him.
Zeke is done. Yes, clearly.
And you know, he came out the same year as Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Drafted higher than Derrick Henry.
Mm.
The only thing with Derrick Henry when he came to the league, Derrick Henry still he may still have less wear and tear than Zeke has. Because Derrick Henry, when he first came, he was sharing carries with Deion somebody, the guy in Tennessee.
Dion Lewis.
First it was DeMarco
Deion
Murray.
Lewis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Deion Lewis.
Brought
Yeah.
in Deion
They didn't
Lewis,
use him. They did not use him very often in the
Yeah.
first 3 years or so that they had him.
which made no sense. Who was that coach? Was that Vrabel the coach at the time? Was he the
Yes.
coach then?
Vrabel.
Really?
Yep.
At that time?
No,
He had,
Vrabel
he
got
had
hired later.
100
Yeah,
He
later.
had 110 carries his first year. He had 176. Then he went 215. And pretty much, other than the 1 year he got hurt, he's been right around 300 every year since.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
You got
So-
a beast. You got to feed the beast.
I wouldn't
But
think
he's
Mike
only
Vrabel would
caught-
do that.
He hasn't really. He only had 1 year where he caught a good amount of passes. Usually
Who
he's
cares?
under.
I can't
Well,
so
so that's another thing is that like where Zeke probably has way more touches in that way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
mean-
sure.
When Zeke was good, he was a good receiver, good playmaker. But Derrick Henry is what we call when Zeke first got to the league, he was a home run hitter.
Yes,
Derrick
bro.
Henry right now is still a home run hitter. I know Buttons don't want to hear this because he could pull a Babe Ruth this week and point to the stands against the Bills like, give me two. Getting the home runs this week. That dude is a home run hitter.
Yeah.
Stop him at all costs.
Hey,
It
Buttons,
will
I was
happen,
telling
Buttons.
Buttons, I know you good with the sci-fi movies, right? I said stopping Derrick Henry is like in Lord of the Rings when the trolls are banging on the wall. And he's like, stand your ground, no matter what comes through that gate. Them ogres bust through. The guy's like, oh, yes.
No matter what comes through there.
Right.
Stand
Zeke had
your
322 his first year in the league.
Yep.
And then the next year, was that the year he held out or something? Or didn't he? No, he got suspended for something.
Come on, Zeke.
Remember, it was like right at the
No,
beginning
he had
of the year
he had an incident. He had an incident where he, I guess, pushed somebody or
yeah,
hit
so he
somebody,
didn't start.
and he got suspended mid-season.
Yep.
Come
So
on now.
then the next year he had 304, and then it's gone down every year. 301, 244, 237.
That's a lot, those, Chris. That's still a lot, Chris.
184.
Still a lot.
His first year,
74
man,
this
Zeke
year.
was a home run hitter that
Yes,
year.
he was.
I mean, he was crushing.
Yes,
He
was.
caught 77 passes and had 304 carries in 2018. So he had almost 400 touches that year.
All in.
I mean, I don't
RB
think that
RB1 all day. 3 down back. That's gone now. What Button say?
They wore him out. Poof.
Yep.
He's that
You go,
80,
buddy.
that 87, the 87
Uh-huh.
print that you see at the gas station. I'm telling you.
87.
Absolutely.
there's a lot of teams though that remember that like Derek. What was it? Was it Derek Johnson? No, who was the guy that was on the Chiefs?
Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he had all those touches because a lot of times these guys have over 300 touches and they fall off. And also the RB1, like guys don't repeat RB1. The RB1 is like the NFC East. Every year there's a new RB1.
Right.
There's a new NFC East champion every year. It's been since what, 2002 or 3 that there's been a back-to-back NFC East champion.
Right.
And there hasn't been back-to-back RB1s in a long time.
And in a minute.
It's tough. It's tough, man. Well, speaking of NFL, let's talk about these games this weekend. All right. So making our picks. All right. I think we already picked like for the whole thing, but it's all good. And I'll actually show y'all what the points are looking like for our first week of our playoff fantasy.
The thing about picking so much ahead, JB, is things change in the NFL from
They
week.
do change.
You get feelings, JB.
They change. So let's go with let's go with the softball game first. Like throw it up, softball, home run. Chiefs or Texans? Who y'all got?
Chefs.
I've been hard on the Chiefs all year, and
Oh my goodness.
I'm not saying I'm going against the Chiefs here, but I think that it's going to be closer because first off, the Chiefs have been playing close games all season, and Texans look pretty good against a Chargers team that everybody was picking against or picking for, and
except for Joey.
And I think that the big thing is that Mixon, they said, is now has an ankle issue. So if he can't play, that's going to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
But Stroud looked all right to me. Still not Stroud of last year, but I think that it'll be closer than. I'll still go Chiefs, but I think it'll be closer than the line.
All that for nothing.
I'm not a Chiefs believer at all. I think they'll be caught at some point
next year.
No, I wouldn't think playing this many close games. No way.
Oh boy,
they're too close to me. They're too close.
Who you got? You got Texas, Joey?
Absolutely not, JB. I have this Chiefs team is tasting history. This is the closest that anyone will get in a long time. Mm-hmm. That anyone has gotten in a long time.
All right. So who you got, Buttons?
Kansas City 28, Houston Texans 17, JB.
Oh, okay.
So they cover.
They cover.
Okay. All right.
Man, I want to go out on a limb here and choose the Texans. I may flip that. I may text you, JB, with a
go on, Chris.
Flip that. I got the only thing that's nervous. I probably would if I knew Mixon was going to play.
Only way I go against this Kansas City team is if Joe Burrow was going into that stadium.
Nico Collins is a beast.
He is
monster.
He is. He definitely
is getting back. Back one of their best.
Spags has something for that.
They're getting Watson back, so we'll see. Everybody got the Chiefs. All right, here we go. Eagles, Rams. Buttons.
JB. Philadelphia Eagles 24. LA Rams 21.
That's close. So you got the Eagles. I'm writing these button scores down.
Hurts makes the right play at the right time.
Yeah.
I mean,
you get a field goal for the win.
That young Rams defense is showing.
They are
playing. If Jalen Hurts can't get the passing game going, they can be in trouble.
Stingy.
But I'm still going Rams.
JB, I've got Eagles here. I've got an ace in the hole, JB, and his name is Saquon Barkley.
When they played the first time, the Eagles had, I believe they had like 8 or 9. That's the word now. Explosive plays. Everybody, that's the new catchword everybody's using.
Right.
Explosives.
The
It had
buzzword.
9 explosives. So I think AJ Brown had like 3 or 4 catches of 20 plus yards. Saquon had big runs, 70. Rams.
That was a Sunday. Was that?
I don't know
a
what
Monday
it
night game?
was, but Saquon was going, but he was going buck wild.
Yes, he was. Buck wild.
All right, so Chris is doing something back there. Who you got,
Yeah,
Chris?
I'm
You got
looking.
the Rams or the
So
Eagles?
it's crazy. You look at the Rams. They were 1-4 to start the season,
1-4 to start the season.
and then they beat the Vikings.
Twice.
They got blown out by the Eagles at home, but they beat the Bills. They beat the Vikings twice. I don't
They
know.
battle tested.
Man, it seems like I just want to pick a dog or something.
Go out on a limb there, Chris.
You know what? Give me the Rams.
Oh my
Nothing's pushed me over that. I mean, the way that they played against Minnesota, I mean, that was a lot of people were picking Minnesota for sure, and they just handled it.
Yeah, and the Rams got the one thing the Rams got right now. They got all this like energy from all this stuff going on in the city right now, man. It's like sometimes that stuff pushes you over the top, but
Yeah,
I still got the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to get by the Eagles defense, unless Stafford just goes back to being a vintage Stafford performance. The Eagles are probably going to handle them.
I agree. The main reason why I agree is because McVay is that much better than Sirianni.
So you going with the Rams?
I'm going to still go with the Eagles.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
because McVay is an outstanding genius coach, they got a shot. They got a really good shot.
Coaching matters.
Cover.
You know they got the Mulder.
The spread is 6.5. So Bud's got him with the cover. All right.
Yeah.
Commanders, Lions. Right now the spread is 9.5. Total 55.5. They're saying that the Commanders cannot stop the Lions. That they will not be able to stop them. I got the Lions. I think the Lions are a team of destiny. I think Commanders may put up some points, but the one thing the Lions are going to do that the Commanders aren't used to, the Lions are going to pound. You listen to what I'm saying? They are going to pound the rock.
Pound town.
They taking up the pound town. And they bring it back, David Montgomery.
Yep.
That's just gonna make Jahmyr Gibbs a little bit more nasty. I'm going with the Lions.
All mandatory.
Yes, it is.
Oh, mandatory Montgomery.
Mandatory.
So, what you guys got here? Who you? Anybody? Anybody taking the what Bud's calls the Fool's Gold Commanders?
Absolutely not. I do think Washington covers, but I would not be taking what Button says Fool's Gold. Great experience for JD, but the Lions will win this ball.
You gotta admit, the Commanders have some big breaks. I mean, if Baker does not drop that ball, in the fourth quarter, they run some clock, maybe kick a field goal, even run some clock and put it back down the other side of the field.
Yeah,
they probably don't lose that game. Bingo. I don't know. It was just a mishap, wasn't it? It was just
JB. I watched every second of that game, and the center is to blame for a lot of those mistakes. That fumble, it's on the center. He started the snap early. Starting snaps late. Bad voodoo between the center and Baker Mayfield, and I blame the center. They should have won that game.
You know who was balling? Mike Evans.
Because he didn't.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, and
that's what Hall of Famers.
That's what they do, Chris. I agree.
He just didn't do enough, huh, Chris? Get him over the hump, huh? But like I said, Baker Mayfield played a good game.
Shake and bake.
He did play A good game.
Just one. It just tight game sometimes, man. Come on to one play. That's what
Yep.
happens.
Yep.
And Daniels made plays when it mattered. And the question is he going to make plays when it matters here? But
Yeah.
everybody got the Lions.
I'll go Lions here. Yeah, I'm not going.
You about to say?
Go time.
No, I'm not going. Joey,
Go
also
time.
you forgot on the Rams.
Oh,
You forgot your boy Higbee is back.
Now, Higbee is out.
Oh,
Higbee.
He is out.
Is he?
He started the game off hot. He had like 5 catches, but he went to the hospital with a chest injury.
Oh, geez, I haven't even. Dang it!
okay.
Out.
It says questionable right now.
Ouch.
He was not playing. He went to the hospital mid-game.
Wow.
Sure did.
Not
I
to
read
the
about
tent.
that.
the
Not in the
hospital.
back. He went to the hospital.
It says limited at practice on Thursday.
Yeah.
They play though.
Yeah, that means a walkthrough. Or
Ouch.
something. Like, yeah, he's out.
You know, how do you beat Philly? You probably gotta throw the ball. I mean, their defense is playing good. Puka and Cooper Kupp gotta find himself again. But all right, the game I'm saving for last because I know.
Oh,
my man
JB,
Bucks.
sorry, you didn't get
Bucks.
my pick, did you?
I did not. I'm sorry.
I can't wait for this game. As you know, I enjoy listening to 106.7 The Fan. When Washington loses, I will be on that radio station right after this game because it's going to be the Detroit Lions 38 and the Washington Commanders 27.
Mm.
Are you gonna so they're not gonna cover.
Is
Because
it
the spread? Oh, that's 65.
Detroit is covering, JB. They're going to stomp a mud hole in them and walk in dry.
Are you going to call in to the Fan?
Can't wait.
To that radio station?
Can't wait.
Buttons is going to be on there.
You call in, let me know if I can turn my radio to it. All right, JB, I'm going to call in right now. So I can turn my radio so I can laugh.
Let us know, Buttons.
You're like, look, on the CJ Squared show, I discussed this.
Yeah.
I got to get in CJ Squared. I got to get in Fool's Gold, and then I'm good. Then they can hang up on me.
You gotta hit your
Hey, Squared and Fool's Gold. Yeah. That's awesome. That'll just make my whole start of the year. Just be like, yeah, I'm walking around like, yeah, man. See them lose, see you chastise them on the radio. Oh, that'd be awesome. All right. Big game, probably the biggest game of the year. Ravens, Bills. I'll let you go last, Buttons. Let's go ahead and tell you. I'm gonna go ahead and I would if I would play some funeral music or something like that for you, but I'm not. But I'm gonna tell you. I should have played taps. Play taps for him, Joey. Play taps.
Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do.
But I'm sorry, my man. If they won't play the Ravens, if they were playing the Chiefs, I will pick the Bills just for GP reasons. But man, I don't know. The one strength, the main strength of the Ravens with the King is the Bills' defense main weakness. It is just not a good matchup. You called it yourself here back early in the year. Has that changed? So I got the Ravens, Buttons. Chris, who you got?
Yeah, I'll take the Ravens. I know we discussed the thing is that Lamar carried the ball way more in the first half than the second half. But Henry carried the ball. He barely touched the ball in the first, but then Pittsburgh outplayed them in the second, I think, or it was close. It was more of a. So do they go with, okay, we're going to let Lamar or are we going to let Derrick Henry? We said we got to pick their poison, and that's the thing where maybe I don't know. I mean, it's going to be tough, but I'll still go Ravens here, but it'd be interesting to see kind of picking their poison, who they decide to let the ball, who they decide to let carry the ball, because Pittsburgh was getting killed by Lamar early and maybe found a little bit of something trying to let just Derrick Henry go, but who knows? But I'm going to go Ravens here. I have them winning it all, so.
I didn't hear a pick from Joey yet. Or maybe
Because
I
Buttons.
did. Or maybe I did.
Yeah, because Buttons, I will be playing taps for an incredible season by Lamar Jackson. There is no way Baltimore goes into Rich Stadium. No way.
Joey is a Lamar playoff hater.
I think
I got something for Joey.
I think Lamar
when I do my
plays
pick.
well. I'm not worried about Lamar. I'm worried about the Ravens' dead last pass defense in Buffalo.
Yeah, but their defense is a lot better.
Hold on. We're talking about
dead last.
I think you need to get your stats correct.
Oh, next to dead last.
As the year ended, remember, they made the switch when they moved Hamilton back to safety and they put Humphrey in the slot. Their defense changed.
They're a lot better in the second half of the season, Joey.
It was a lot better. So I don't know. And now, also, when you have a bad passing defense, you probably need a beast of a receiver or somebody to make a difference. So I don't know. I don't know. Joey,
I just don't like.
If we're on the field the whole time, running the ball down your throat, how you getting the ball to pass it?
Well, that may be Buffalo also. I think Buffalo's going to be running the ball down Baltimore's throat.
Baltimore is the number one team against the run, Joey, just so FYI.
But they're also 31 against the pass, JB, FYI. I don't like Baltimore's defense with this superstar Lamar this year. And I like Buffalo's 12th man, which may be the best 12th man in the NFL.
Go ahead, sing the song, then. Go ahead, sing it.
This is a great matchup,
sing the song for Buzz, make it feel good. That song.
Hey, Buffalo.
Buffalo. Sing the other song. That one's better. Hit the old tap form again. There we go, JB. Lamar is going to bury the hatchet on the narrative.
I used to, I heard every day when I was in the military. Joey did too, right? You always heard in the morning time, right, Joey? Like, end of the day, when you're on base, and then come on.
Absolutely. Fort Belvoir played it at 5 o'clock every day. We always stop playing.
Korea, Germany. Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, Buttons, go ahead. It's your team.
JB. You got the floor, Buttons.
What you got, Buttons?
Now, you may or may not know this, gentlemen. JB, Chris, Joey, millions. But week 4 in the NFL, these two teams met.
They did. Where, Buttons?
And in Baltimore.
Okay.
Sunday night game. Almost took my son there, but thought against it because it is a night game and I didn't want to get back at 1 o'clock.
I remember you talking about that, Buttons.
However, a lot went on in that game that you guys may not have realized. Key players. Taron Johnson, out. Terrell Bernard, out. Jordan Phillips, out. Khalil Shakir got hurt in the second quarter.
Yeah.
He was out. All those guys are back.
Yep.
All those guys are healthy.
Yep.
Now, you mentioned something about Lamar Jackson, Joey. And look, I got these stats. I'm just going to read them real quick, just for everybody's information, okay? And he played pretty well last week, but Lamar Jackson, career in the playoffs among all pro quarterbacks since the year 2000. Everybody ready to be educated about Lamar Jackson?
Please do.
Record as a starter, last. Completion percentage, last. Passing yards per attempt, last.
Truth.
Touchdown percentage, last.
True.
Sack percentage, last.
True.
Passer rating, last.
True.
Success rate, last.
True.
I mean, damn. This guy,
True.
okay,
True.
in the playoffs.
True.
Maybe I have the MVP 35, the co-MVP 31. Go Bills.
Hey.
Hey.
Did not have it any other way. If you would have said Ravens, I would have got in my car, drove to your house, and drug tested you right here live on CJ Squared. You could have the Cowboys this year playing against the Chicago Bears 85. I would sit here and give you a reason why the Cowboys would win. If it wasn't playoffs.
Sometimes you just got to go with this, JB.
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta get your lips loose and let me stop.
Yes, you do.
It's gonna be.
You heard these, right? You heard these stats, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for it. So, Joey, just a quick stat correction. The Baltimore Ravens were not last. They were next to last.
Next to last.
But number one against the run.
Yeah.
Okay, 80 yards per game. And scoring defense, they are in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th. Bills are 11. So this is a monumental, and the question is, will they be beat up so bad they won't be able to bounce back against Kansas City? So this is gonna be an interesting game.
This is a huge
playoff. There we got some playoff rankings. We got who you want to know what quarterback is under the most or least pressure. Now I have it written down here, so I'm not gonna put up on the screen, so we can just still be full here, so y'all can understand where we're coming from.
You got to experience this podcast tonight, okay?
So we're all about stats. We're all about the spreadsheets and the receipts. But every once in a while, we got to just make sure you understand that we're humans too. All right, that Buttons, your boy Joey nutted on the PGA, right?
Not true, Buttons.
Oh, come on now. You didn't make a starting lineup.
Buttons. I messaged JB.
Did and he didn't.
I messaged JB this morning at 8:50 and said, JB, I have my team in. It won't save. Can you see it? JB,
you take him a picture.
Didn't know because he was busy. He's got science fair stuff.
I wonder if JB can manually do it as the commissioner. I don't know.
I looked at it. It's not like
what you do is you basically just gotta keep
and obviously
that was
Joey said I was busy, but he did not hear the message I left.
I heard it. I heard it. You said that you had to look at it.
I can't look at your Memphis already started in the tournament. Right?
Oh. But the tournament had it was after 11 that you left it back.
The last thing I said, I know I got mine in.
You couldn't click submit?
But Buttons, it was gray. And
hang on, did you do it on your phone or did you do it on a computer?
On my phone.
Well, okay, so
Buttons
here's the
now.
Thing.
Yeah.
Here's what a normal person would do. A grown-up. A grown-up would say, the tournament starts at 11 something. I tried to do it at 8:40. Once I get to my computer, let me double check. I have a 3-hour buffer.
I thought I was in Buttons.
Hey,
No.
you're in next week. Yeah.
Chris added his points up. He would be in first place right now.
First place Buttons.
Wow, really?
But
Yeah,
the reason why,
he had 2 guys in the top 10.
Ooh.
Buttons, I was on it.
I didn't check it today. Honestly, I have a lot going on today.
I pulled it up at the beginning. I think it was we talked about it before we got on the show. I didn't have it on the show with no videos, but you pull it up. You're in first right now. Which I'm getting
Also,
sick
Buttons.
getting sick of seeing Buttons first in golf. I'm getting sick of it.
One more thing is that in the segment, you don't. So you know how they have like 3 segments, right?
Okay, yep.
It's like 9 or 10 games within a segment. They reset after the segment. So it's not like if you pick a guy 3 times in the first segment,
Yep.
They're not done for the whole year. They're just done for that segment.
They're done for that segment. So basically, I can use if I wanted to. I didn't use Shoffley, but if I wanted to use Shoffley or whatever,
Yeah.
I could use him
He
3
dropped
times.
out anyway.
3 times in the first
33%.
segment.
33% of the time, I could use him in a segment, but then after that, I couldn't use him 67% of the time.
Yeah, basically.
All right, gotcha.
So
So you
where
can
I
use
was
them-
like, I
You
was
can
probably
use them in
digging.
segment 1, 2, and 3 times.
Okay, yeah, got you.
You
Got
can
you.
use him 9 times in the year.
9
basically.
times for the
totally.
whole season.
Totally.
So I was like, I probably was digging a little too deep. Of like,
You know, Chris, honestly, I thought I dug deep a little bit.
yeah. I mean, because I was thinking, oh, well, I don't want to burn guys.
I was looking at past histories. I was looking at past cuts. I did a lot of stupid stuff
Yeah.
for this
Yeah.
week.
Oh, and now,
Did a lot of research. Me, I went to one of the sites. Said, okay, what's the odds? And I was like, okay, give me. I was like, give me
I
a.
mean,
give
it
me- how
makes
I feel
sense.
like this guy.
now,
The
especially
guy,
knowing they
listen,
don't.
the guy who they had, like for one of my guys, they had him like in the top 5. He's like, he probably won't make the cut.
Sanjay M, I think you have.
Yeah, he won't make the
Mhm.
cut.
He
So I
already-
swapped him out.
He already did
Swapped
the
him
old
out.
swap.
Already
Get him
swapped
outta
him
there.
out, JB.
So
But
what?
if you swap
Already
a guy,
swapped him out.
so if you
Yeah.
just keep him on the bench, you don't use him.
You,
then they're
it
like-
doesn't
they're-
it doesn't count
doesn't
toward your
count as a
3.
third. Yeah.
But if you swap him mid-tournament,
Then I
Yeah,
think
it counts.
it does count.
It does count. Yeah.
Okay.
No worries.
Okay. Got you.
No worries. You
Gotcha.
know,
Yep.
it's all good.
But what
We
you
good.
almost could do is
learning
you could almost
process.
put Shoffley on every time as on your bench guy, and then never use him unless it gets really bad. But then do you want to burn him? But after like say week 5, you might as well keep 2 really good guys on the bench.
That's true. That's true.
Dang it, I'm just
Strategy. Look at that. Giving you strategy, Joey. They're teaching you.
Of course. But
Joey, are you listening?
he's not listening, Chris.
I don't need it. I'll be fine.
He doesn't need it.
I'm in first place now anyway.
That's right.
I'm in first place right now.
He won't set a lineup. It's all good.
I'm in first place right now anyway.
True. Maybe I should be asking you about that.
All right, guys. So we just everybody give their order a list, right? Because I have it written down
All right.
and my order. Go ahead, Buns. Go ahead.
And,
You
and
want to say
JB,
something?
and JB, I just want to clarify too. I put 1 through 8. I put 1 as my least pressure and 8 as my most pressure because I figured we would end on that one.
All right. So then
Yeah, you
we could
didn't.
just go.
But you didn't follow the directions Chris gave you.
Well, it didn't. I didn't really have a specific.
No,
I didn't.
No, because it says least to most, and he has 8 to 1. So that means 8 would be the least in this
I mean,
case.
all you got to do is flip the numbers.
Oh, I got you. Yep, I
It's
got
all-
you.
I'm just messing with you. But
I
anyway,
got the list.
So we should probably go. So then we'll just start. Who's your least pressured guy?
So easy.
for me, the guy for me with the least amount of pressure on him, paying with house money, has to be Jaden Daniels. That dude don't have no pressure. I mean, for me, it's just he's a rookie. He's in the second round of the playoffs. It was the first win that the Commanders had as a franchise since when? 2000 and what?
2005.
19 years since they had a playoff win.
Not long enough.
Win.
I'm
2005.
I'm with JB here. That's a team that we were fighting to see who even wanted the Commanders at the beginning of the year of our picks. I mean, they were a 6.5 total. So, right now what he's done there is pretty phenomenal, even if it is fool's gold. So I say Daniel's house money for sure for me.
What you
Joey,
got, bud? Who's your
The
least?
guy playing with house money, guys, is the guy who's already got 3 chips. You think he has any pressure on him whatsoever? None. No, 0. If he loses tomorrow, or he loses this weekend, he's already a bona fide Hall of Famer. He's got no pressure on him whatsoever. My least is Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. All right. Budden's got Mahomes at his least. Now, my argument with that is I just get to it when I get to him, and I tell you how I
You're
feel
fine,
about
JB.
it.
You're fine. You're fine.
No, I'm waiting for Joey.
Maybe I will also add in on the Jaden Daniels talk.
Okay,
He
so
brought the Commanders back to relevance. He is good.
Him alone? Him alone?
Not him alone.
Right.
Mostly him alone.
No,
He's
that's not
the-
true. That's,
he's the
Chris,
main
that's
call.
not true, Chris. I got receipts this week.
I said last week.
Well,
Even though Bobby Wagner did ball out, and Bobby Wagner is still a crucial player, but other than McLaurin and even Brian, they don't even have a 1,000-yard rusher.
you said other than McLaurin, Chris? Now, I mean, I know we're doing a segment right now, but we can get into another segment. I can dive into the Washington roster right now.
They even have a guy. How many yards?
God,
is McLaurin?
we'll save that for you next week, Bud. We talk about why they lost.
Got it.
All right. So, my next guy with the least amount of pressure for me is CJ Stroud. And the reason I say this is because the expectation was him to come into the season with Tank Dell, Diggs, Collins.
Mhm.
And right now, I mean, people didn't see him. They didn't even really see them playing or being here where they are. They had them getting beat by the Chargers. They were home dogs. So he's going into Kansas City. It's not going to matter if everybody think they're going to lose. So he's going in there. He's going to be so loose. So I got him at number 7.
I go golf here only because I feel like that team is so well balanced. I don't feel like I think everyone underestimates golf as far as the pressure and what we put on his shoulders. So I feel like if they win or lose, it's gonna be everyone wants to knock on Campbell. He seems to usually get all of the hate when they do, like last year when they lost. Golf, as good as he is, I feel like most people really don't even bring him up. So I feel like he's just kind of an under the radar type of guy.
Okay. Hard to go under the radar if you lose to a rookie.
True, but I don't feel like there's a lot of pressure right now. And I mean, yeah, if they lose, I think everyone will be going crazy. But going into the game, I feel like
I know Mr. Peltier going to be going crazy.
Going into the game, I just feel like everyone just assumes there's not a lot of pressure on golf right now.
I got you. All right, Joey, who's your next up?
JB, Chris Buttons. My next up is Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford has nothing to prove. He is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He is going through a
Which Hall of Fame?
I was there that I wasn't. Going through a tough time. The fire's going on out there. I think they're just happy that it looks like the Rams, when it looked like everything was sort of getting away from them. McVay, that he was talking about maybe he was going to move on. They weren't too sure about what was happening with Matthew Stafford. Everything seems to be on the up and up for them. There is no pressure on Matthew Stafford.
I will join Joey. Matthew Stafford. Patrick Mahomes has 3. Matthew Stafford already has 1. He's had a great career. Hall of Very Great, maybe right now. Not sure about Hall of Fame. Well, that's another discussion for another day. I'll take Matthew Stafford here.
Arctic Blast on the 20th, Joey. Coldest day in DC in a long time.
Yes. Ooh. Yes, it will be, JB.
Anyway,
bye.
Some sort of omen up there.
My number 6. I got Patty Mahomes.
Okay.
And the reason he's not at the top is because Joey said it earlier. He's chasing history right now. Okay, he wants to match Tom Brady in number of Super Bowl wins, but if he can get this, he'll have something that Tom Brady does not have. He will have that 3rd Super Bowl in a row, which that's pressure. That's pressure on that man. If you want to get that, you got to feel some pressure.
He will
But not
never.
a lot, but some.
He will never
Not the
let
least
you.
amount.
You'll never even notice the pressure that's on him, JB.
That's 6. All right, Chris, who you got? That's 6.
I got Stroud kind of for the reasons you talked about. Still a young guy. I feel like his career, long career ahead of him. And, I think that this is a team, kind of like JB said, that they're definitely overlooked. And I don't feel like anyone is really going to be picking them anyway this week. So they're another team that's kind of playing with house money. And so, yeah, I mean, I think there's a slight more pressure than Daniels because he has taken that step back. And I think that everyone, and they won the one playoff game last year. So it's kind of like, all right, they kind of stalled out. But I think that it's a little bit more pressure than the other guys, but I feel like, he's still got a ways to go, in a long career. So I think less pressure for him.
It's going to be cold next week, boy.
Yes, it is.
They say nearly 80 million Americans will be below 0 degrees Fahrenheit next Tuesday.
They ain't playing next week. But
Oh!
they ain't playing next week.
All right, Joey, who you got at 6?
JB, at number 6, I'm going to Detroit.
You know who's in the playoffs, Joey?
Yes, I do.
He's got it pulled up, JB.
I'm going to number 6, Jared Goff. It's just Detroit is the best team in the NFC. I think they expect them to go. It's a great story. Detroit's back, but I don't know if anyone expects Detroit to win, especially if Kansas City gets there, or the winner of the AFC, assuming it would be either Kansas City or Baltimore or Buffalo. I think it's just Jared Goff came from he was treated wrong, sent to somewhere to die, and brought them back. It's a wonderful story. There's no pressure on him.
Yeah. Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl, though, so he has that in his resume. He's been there. Other quarterbacks haven't even sniffed it.
Been there. Yes, he has.
Yeah.
All right, Buttons, you got it number 6.
So I got my Super Bowl winners out of the way. So now I can focus on that rookie up in Washington, Jayden Daniels. For a lot of the reasons that you guys laid out. I know I hate a lot on Washington on this podcast lately.
Okay, Buttons, we appreciate it.
Jayden Daniels is a star. He has played like a star. Hopefully he can continue so that they still keep missing the playoffs, but still do well.
Or just get him bounced early.
Yeah. But I'll take Jayden Daniels here.
Buttons, are those X-Men Sentinels on your shirt?
They are, JB.
You know what JB.
You know what time it is, JB.
See Jubilee on the ground about to get smashed. Like, what is going on, Buttons? Right. Nice. All right. My number 5, I got Matthew Stafford. A little pressure, but not much. Kind of on the lower level of the pressure. Good to great career. I mean, he used to put up good numbers. Didn't have a defense. Didn't have coaching. Been through a lot. Team. He played on a team that didn't win a game. So, got to give him props for getting that Super Bowl. But ain't much pressure for Matthew Stafford. That dude living a good life. But stuff going on in LA probably on his mind, but I don't think that he has that much pressure on him. The expectation is not for them to win against Philly. So the pressure is not as high.
I'm going Hurts here. I feel like his time right now, I think he's going to kind of be the next group of guys, like we talk about Lamar if he doesn't get one. But I think it's a little still a little early as far as having that discussion of, he's already been to the Super Bowl. Can he kind of get over that hump? But I still feel like there's other guys with more pressure, so it's just more of he has a little bit of pressure, but that team is pretty well rounded, and I don't know if Philly counts on him as much as some of these other guys.
Guess what? Hurts is the only quarterback playing in the playoffs right now that wasn't a first-round draft pick.
Man, so that's another guy with house money right there. So, I feel like it'll come if he doesn't start winning and, they keep becoming the dominant team they are in the NFC. Eventually it will come if he doesn't get it. But I feel like there's just more guys with more pressure right now because they've had a longer career and been there. More expectation on the other guys, I think.
All right. You got it 5, Joey.
JB, number 5, I have CJ Stroud. I think the reason why I'm going to put CJ Stroud a little bit higher up, there has been talk of a sophomore slump. Of course, he didn't have
talk, Joey. It's facts. Okay?
There was a sophomore slump, but then all of a sudden, his mans comes back and everything's fine. So was it because he didn't have his mans, or was it really
his dimes, Joey? He was by himself.
So you gotta have your dimes. You gotta have them. So I think he needs to play really well in order to maybe give people the feeling it wasn't a sophomore slump. It was, I didn't have my mans.
All right, Buttons, what you got?
I've got Jared Goff here, JB. I think he's on the lower end, but kind of the middle of the road in terms of pressure. I mean, Dan Campbell and him, honestly, have changed the culture up there in Detroit. So I don't think he has too much to prove. He is in no danger of losing that job, even with a bad playoff game in him. So I don't think he has a lot of pressure here.
Okay. All right. No pressure for Jared Goff. I kind of disagree, but okay. All right. Number 4, I got Jalen Hurts. Why? Because they are expected to beat the Rams, and there have been calls they're saying that he has kind of regressed in terms of a passer. So will he, because really Jalen Hurts fantasy and football has really been, he's had a lot of big plays, but really he's been just a tush push. I mean, really. He's been the last couple of years, what's his claim to fame? Putting up big numbers? No, it's been he gets, if it's 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, he's gonna get a first down.
He's gonna get you those rushing touchdowns.
He's gonna get you a first down. He's been to Super Bowl when they had a team putting up big numbers, and they playing the Rams. The Rams really gonna have all the backing of everybody in the country because of the LA fires. So Hurts has some pressure. Plus, he's coming back from that concussion, and if the Rams can slow down Saquon any bit, and they put the onus on letting Hurts beat them, then that pressure is going to just be more than being 8, 7, 6, or 5. So I got Hurts at 4.
All right, Chris. I actually have I got Matt Stafford here. Not because I think they're going to win. I think because of what we had said with Buttons saying he's a guy for his legacy. Right now, he's probably on the outs of the Hall of Fame. This is a guy from a career perspective probably needs something else huge to get into the Hall of Fame. He doesn't have the all-pro numbers. He's got the passing numbers to get in, but there's very few guys, and I'm not saying he's going to win a Super Bowl, but two Super Bowls, there's only 12, 13 guys ever. And the question mark is probably Eli, right? Is the guy who's got 2 Super Bowls, and will he or won't he get in? Matt Stafford with 2 Super Bowls probably gets in. I'm not saying he gets it here. I'm saying he's a guy who desperately needs something huge on his resume. So while this playoff series, nobody's expecting a lot for them to win, I feel like, for his career. And it's unfortunate because who knows what he does in if he was on a way better team in Detroit, because the first year he goes to the Rams, he's incredible that year, probably almost could win the MVP that year.
Yeah.
So we see him finally on a really good team, how great he is. And that's in kind of the twilight of his career. If he has on that team, who knows how many Super Bowls he actually wins and MVPs if it's in the prime of his career. So he was wasted there. It's unfortunate, but yeah, I feel like he still needs something to build that resume up to get not just into Buttons Hall of Fame, but in the real Hall of Fame as well.
Chris, before Joey goes real quick, and it's a real quick question. How many All-Pros, first team or second team, has Matt Stafford had in his career?
So he hasn't had any. I looked it up, and there's only a couple guys.
He has a comeback player of the year, and he's a two-time Pro Bowler.
Aikman, I don't think was he for an All-Pro? I don't think.
Look up. Y'all keep.
I don't know.
No, Chris. See, but he has 3.
True. I'm just saying
that's elite.
And what about?
There are qualifications that get you into the Hall of Fame, Chris. You have to be phenomenal in the regular season, or phenomenal in the play, and I mean phenomenal. Phenomenal in the playoffs and not great in the regular season.
Right.
Or you can be both.
So Aikman,
you can't be, you just can't have none.
Aikman
what about, go ahead, JB.
6-time Pro Bowl. Back then, the Pro Bowl mattered a little bit more than it matters right now.
It did.
You know, and 3-time Super Bowl champ.
And what about, Roethlisberger, no All-Pros. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
He's got 2.
What has he got? 2 Super Bowls.
Got 2.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Roethlisberger.
Stafford's going to have better passing numbers than Roethlisberger.
6-time.
So what, Chris?
2-time Super Bowl champ.
Don't care.
Yeah, if he gets another Super Bowl.
Chris, it's not all about numbers. See, I did a lot of research this week, and we don't have time for it. Okay, because I did a lot of wide receiver research.
Here we go.
But I'm not getting into it. Joey, go ahead with your pick.
Number 3. I'll go with Jalen Hurts.
Wait, we're on number 4, aren't we?
No, are we?
Number 4, yeah.
We are on number 4, Joey.
Oh, number 4. Then I will put Buttons Josh Allen at number 4.
What?
Ooh.
I think that Buffalo, we all know Buffalo's starving.
No doubt.
Absolutely starving. But Josh Allen is just beloved too much for him to be in my top 3.
Ooh.
He doesn't have to win a Super Bowl.
Huh?
He's brought the Bills. The Bills are a very popular team. He's one of the most popular players. Josh Allen is safe. He is not in the top 3. He has completely turned my words against me when I said I think that the Bills' window is closed. Clearly is not closed because they're on their way to the AFC Championship after this weekend. And who knows what's going to happen because they match up very well with Kansas City. But Josh Allen is safe from the top 3. You leave those taps out.
Based on what y'all are saying, Lamar Jackson could retire right now, Hall of Famer.
Oh, I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, he's absolutely in.
And he's in mine.
Absolutely.
Well, everybody gets in Chris's.
No, Matt Stafford is not in mine.
He's a 3-time All-Pro.
He's really not, Chris, huh?
MVP.
Interesting.
And no Super Bowls. And playoff record is
last.
I mean, Matt Stafford has never been the best player at his position but I don't think Roethlisberger. I think Roethlisberger.
I mean, if that was the case, if that's how quarterback Hall of Fame for Judge, you wouldn't have anybody in there basically. If y'all saying that, because there's only one position for quarterback, so only one guy can be the MVP. Only one guy can be first team All-Pro.
Or you could say
Now,
top
Peyton
2.
Manning was first team All Pro
Matthew
for
Stafford was
7 years. So you're saying everybody else those 7 years doesn't.
Well, what I'm saying is Matthew
resume-
Stafford, like Matthew Stafford has never been in the argument other than 1 year in his career as the best quarterback in the league. Josh Allen this year could be in that argument as best quarterback in the league this year. Right? Where like Matt Stafford.
Look, you're preaching to the choir, Chris, but the facts are the facts.
Points, yes.
The facts are the facts. Josh Allen does not have a first team All Pro. He does not.
But hey, and for me, we talking about fantasy. Yeah, Josh Allen, sure, of course. But we talking about stats. Joe Burrow was better, and Lamar was better. Those two guys were better than Josh Allen this year.
I'll get to that later.
It's not even how Buns always says it. It's not even close. It's just me. And I love Josh Allen.
Yep.
But the 12 touchdowns rushing helps though.
It definitely does.
Some of those were
And
tush
he almost had
pushes.
600 yards rushing.
Some of those were tush pushes.
Okay, Lamar had 5,000 total yards.
Lamar
more touchdown passes than Allen. He had more yards than Allen.
Lamar, the only reason I think is, again, I think voter fatigue is going to hurt him.
We'll see.
Let's understand that.
I agree.
I mean, it happened in basketball.
All right.
With Jordan. If it happened with Jordan, it can happen with anyone.
Or if it happened with Jokic, I mean, that dude is big.
No doubt there. All right, number 4 for me. I have C.J. Stroud here.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
sophomore slump, but they really thought that they struck gold last year with this kid.
They
They
did.
said it's fools
And now he's won, I believe. Did he win last year in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yes, he
So
did.
now he has 2 playoff wins on his resume. I think in Houston, they really want him to take that next step forward and try to get into that next round. So I will have C.J. Stroud at my number 4 position here.
And they could do it, maybe.
If you're a quarterback, you do not want to get drafted into the AFC.
No, you do not.
No
Gauntlet.
sir.
It's a gauntlet.
Not right now.
You- For the next 10 years, you're like,
Good luck.
Bingo.
you better be. Let's go be Arch Manning, then we'll be having a discussion when he comes to the NFL.
Lord.
Can't wait.
Arch don't want none of that.
Love it. All right, for my number 3, I got Jared Goff. Y'all don't say no pressure on that man.
Ooh.
Let me tell you why he's number 3.
None,
Detroit
baby.
all year, expectation Super Bowl, expectation. They running. They pounding people, right?
Pound town.
Now, Jared Goff, end of the year, numbers. With a, like I told you before, with an AS.
All
numbers.
there. All
Okay.
there.
They're a running team, basically. They are a running team. They want to run the ball, right? And they outscore people. But they haven't played Jaden Daniels yet. And then when they play one guy who was a runner, aka Josh Allen.
Yep.
You saw how the defense struggled. So Jared Goff is going to have pressure on him to produce and put up points. So I got him at number 3. Do I think they're going to lose? No, I think they're going to beat the brakes off of him, but he still got pressure on him.
I like the argument, JB.
But the thing is that it's crazy to think a team that's been picked to win the NFC for pretty much the whole season, and we're not talking about, because I bet if you compare Goff's numbers with all the other guys, maybe not Lamar, but everyone else, it's probably right there. So to think he's not in the MVP, really in the MVP conversation, nobody's bringing him up, tells you the expectation to me of what we expect of why they're going to win or lose. It doesn't seem like it's on Goff's shoulders. Even though it probably could be, I don't even think that it's not necessarily, he has to ball out, but for whatever reason, he gets a pass of like, because we always say their identity is run and win with defense.
Pound town.
Goff just kind of gets slipped under, he's under the radar a little bit. But he has to ball out. Everyone has to ball out at this point to win. So
Yep.
he probably should have more expectation than he does. But to me, it's just that's what I'm saying is that for whatever reason, he just gets a pass, good and bad, I think. You know, that it hurts him in the MVP race, but then he gets away with like, oh, last year against San Francisco, it was Dan Campbell's fault. Nobody brings up golf, really. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm going to go Allen. I think there is a lot of pressure on here, but the thing that's shielding him for me is Lamar has just been more hyped of falling off in the playoffs. So if Lamar kind of takes that step, we always anoint who's the next guy. You know, you do it in in golf. It's like, oh, who's the next guy to not win a Masters? Who's the next guy in basketball? To me, if Lamar goes and wins it, Allen then gets pushed up to be the next guy. And then if we're having this conversation next year, Allen to me probably jumps to number one.
Right.
But Lamar is shielding him as the guy because.
Okay. All right. That's a good argument. Who you got at number 3, Joey?
Jalen Hurts going to go to number 3, JB.
Okay.
They're talk on CJ Squared about maybe Jalen Hurts
not
necessarily being that guy pushing the ball down the field. He's got a security blanket just handing the ball off to his all-world running back. Can he keep his all-pro level receiver happy? If things aren't going well, is he going to be able to effectively push the ball down the field? Jalen Hurts, number 3.
Okay.
Joey,
They're going to go to A.J. Brown this week. I think he read that book and had one catch. Oh, he's getting the ball.
Yeah. I will join Joey, JB, with Jalen Hurts as my number 3 pressure quarterback. Philly fans are ferocious, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got to get fired?
These cats booed Santa Claus. Okay. You boo Santa Claus, they're going to be calling for his head sometimes, even if he throws an incomplete pass. He's got a lot of pressure on those shoulders. Big contract, fat contract, 5-year deal up to like 2028.
Yep.
Lot of pressure on Jalen Hurts. I love the guy. I love him, though. I do.
Big Jalen Hurts guy.
All right. Number 2, I got Lamar. And the only reason he's number 2 is because he's on the road. If he was at home, he would be number 1 in this contest. These two guys are going to be forever linked.
Forever, ever?
Until one of them beats Mahomes in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Forever linked.
Mm-hmm.
Great players, MVP caliber guys. Yep. No rings because you can't beat Patrick.
That's correct.
Right. And another reason why it could be less pressure than Allen, Jackson is coming in with the king.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to crown him.
The king has returned.
What they say about football, defense, and running game travels.
The king has returned.
Crown him. All right. That's why he's my number 2. Go ahead, Chris.
I got Mahomes here, and I think it's the reason to me is because not that he's chasing something Lamar and Allen are chasing. To me, when you're at that level of greatness and you're now in the upper echelon of all sports, now you're chasing Michael Jordan, you're chasing Michael Phelps, you're now above just regular football.
Michael Phelps.
You're chasing now greatness in Tom Brady, all of these other guys. You now pushed on to the next level, and we see LeBron. LeBron is a guy who has been chasing the ghost of Michael Jordan, and eventually when you get that close, it starts the pressure starts to mount, and people start hating on you. You're picked apart for everything. Right now, there's a pretty good distance between him and Brady, but as he starts to inch closer, that's when the more and more pressure is going to mount. I still think he's a little bit further away, but if he starts to win and you don't like, what's the blemish on LeBron? He's lost championships, right? The things are like, those things matter when we start to nitpick in the all-time great conversations. So yeah, for this year, it really might not make a difference. But if he were to get to the Super Bowl and lose and he starts mounting losses up in those levels, it does hurt his legacy. So for me, it's more of a legacy conversation. Now he's competing against the all-time greats in all sports. So it's like Floyd Mayweather always said, he picked fighters that he knew he could win because he needed that undefeated record. Because if he had 48-1, it's completely different than 48-0. You know what I mean? Like, it has a different ring to it. So to me, Mahomes is there from a different perspective than Lamar and Allen, I think.
I'd like to add that LeBron's biggest blemish it's an argument that it was the decision.
And true, that's up there. But that's another thing is that
that's a good take, JB.
You start to nitpick little stupid stuff like this, and it matters. All these things start to matter.
Yep. All right, Joey, who you got at number 2?
I'm going to go along with Chris. Patrick Mahomes is my number 2.
Wow.
As great as he is, I know that he really wants this three-peat. This is the closest, in my opinion, as far as a team that is talented enough to really do it since the 90 49ers. I think this team has got everything that it takes in order to absolutely do this. They feel it. They got the home field. They are ready for this. It may get tight for them. How do they handle things if it does get to that? But if there's anyone that can handle the pressure, it is number 15 for Kansas City.
No doubt about that.
Okay.
All right.
Done it over and over and over.
My number 2 pick here, JB, is Josh Allen.
Your man's Buttons. Your
Josh
man's.
Josh Allen has been in the league 7 years.
Your man's.
Josh Allen has made it to 1 AFC championship. 1. Jim Kelly, in his first 7 years, he had already been to 2 Super Bowls, one of which was stolen because he should have won from wide right, but I'm not going to bring that up. Okay.
Wide right was stolen.
And he already had, yes. 2, we should have made that kick. Okay. Period. That's the end of story right there. Okay?
Hold on, Buttons. Let me interrupt for a quick moment.
Should have made the kick.
What
Period.
was Scott Norwood's? What was he? 40 yards and out on grass fields. It was a very poor percentage.
It was a bad percentage.
It definitely was.
He was good all year, by the way. People crush him. He was good all year for us.
Oh, he absolutely was.
Yeah. Jim Kelly has the same amount of All-Pros. Oh, and also Jim Kelly has an All-Pro first team as well. So there's a lot of pressure on those broad shoulders of Mr. Allen. I think he can do it. I hope he does do it. But number 2 is Josh Allen for me, JB.
Okay. All right.
Gee, Scott Norwood was born in Alexandria.
So, Joey, the closest team to a three-peat was the 90 San Fran team.
Well, I'm just basing it on San Francisco was the best team in the league that year, and they were hosting the NFC Championship.
What year was this?
90.
Oh, you're saying actual 90.
Yes, 1990.
What about the Cowboys in 90s?
The Cowboys went to Candlestick against the better 49ers that year.
They beat them, didn't they?
No, they lost.
The Cowboys won 91, 92, lost in 93, and won again in 94.
But they did not three-peat. They lost in 93.
No, but I'm saying you got to win 2 in a row to have a chance to three-peat.
Yeah, but I'm saying because San Francisco was the best team in the NFL and they were hosting, Dallas had to go to San Francisco in 90 and
win one of those, and they did, right? Okay.
Yes. That's the reason why I say San Francisco, in my opinion, was in the best position.
What about the Patriots in the 2000s?
I don't think the Patriots were ever going for a three-peats.
Yes, they were. They won. I was, while you were sitting there ranting, I was sitting here looking it up.
They
So that's why I
have
could
they have won 2 in a row.
So I could dispute your hypothesis.
Right.
They won 03 and 04. Lost to Denver in the playoffs in 05.
In the AC Championship?
No, they lost in the divisional round against Denver. I think that was Denver. I think, against Denver.
They weren't better than the 90 49ers arguably
because they didn't make it to the his argument, JB, is they didn't make it to the AFC Championship and the Niners made it to the NFC Championship.
Guess what, Joey? The Cowboys actually made it to the NFC Championship.
They didn't host, baby. They were not favored.
What he's saying is New England was
They were not favored.
New England was a 4 seed that year.
Yes.
They weren't favored. Kansas City right now is probably the
number one
favorite to win the
Okay, so you're saying it's the better opportunity because they are the number 1 seed.
Like they're projected to win.
I got you.
Yes.
But I wasn't arguing Kansas City, Chris. I was arguing the past best opportunity.
Yeah.
That 90 team.
The number 2 seed in the NFC, and the only reason they played there was because of Deion Sanders going to the 49ers.
That is correct. Year. That is correct. I would think that 49ers team was the overwhelming favorites, even though you had an excellent Bills team.
I think the Cowboys end up that game end up anyway. Neither here nor there. You know what? Here's my number 1. Josh Allen.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's hear it.
Josh Allen, right now, sitting on top of the world. He's engaged to Haley Steinfeld. You know, everybody out there mad. He's at home. He got the crowd. You know, the crowd is singing. Hey, hey. You know, they're going crazy out there. You're at home. You beat Kansas City this year in the regular season. Everybody is talking about how y'all can beat Kansas City this year. But y'all forgot you got to go through Baltimore first. That dude, and to top it all off, when they played Baltimore this year, I don't care who went there, because whoever's there was what matters. They got skull drugged.
They did.
So you can't tell me that man ain't got more pressure than Lamar. Lamar coming in like, I got pressure on me, but we beat the brakes off these guys. Why can't we do it again? So that's my take. I think Josh Allen at number 1, he's going to handle the pressure. I don't think they're going to win, but I don't think it's going to be a game that's going to come down to the wire. It's going to be one of the best games we see all year. I'm hoping.
It's a heavyweight title fight.
Hope so.
All right, Chris.
I'm looking Buffalo in that 1990. They beat the Raiders 51-3
in the AFC Championship game. Yes, they did. I remember watching it live.
That is
ridiculous. Did they lose in the Super Bowl that year?
That's when they lost to the Giants.
2019, the greatest Super Bowl ever.
Why did JB even have to ask that? He already knows we lost 4 in a row. Why do you have to ask? Did they lose the Super Bowl that year?
51.
The greatest Super Bowl ever.
The Bills were okay. Back then in the day, the K gun, they were putting up numbers.
The K gun.
It was frightening.
51-3, and they put up 40. I mean, Giants held them to 19.
It took the greatest defensive mind in NFL history to hold that K gun to 19.
They put up 44 against Miami, 51 against Buffalo or against the Raiders, and then only 19 in the Super Bowl.
It took the greatest defensive mind in NFL history.
Didn't the Cowboys put 55 on the Super Bowl one year?
Yes, they did. JB's trolling now, but
JB
is trolling now.
Button face right now.
It would have been 60 if Leon Latner
Don Beebe hawked him.
JB is trolling now.
Beep.
All right, let's hurry up because Joey got to get up in the morning time here.
Yeah,
I do.
I got Lamar. He's just kind of been the guy that he's the poster child of great regular season. And
Button sit here and just crapped on the man. Last.
I mean, for me,
me and Joey have had this argument for years of best regular season, and Joey keeps throwing in my face that regular season, you can have your best regular season quarterback.
Take it, Chris.
Because I did it for years with Peyton, and now I'm doing it with Lamar, where Lamar and Mahomes, to me, I think Lamar is a much better regular season player than Mahomes is. He just doesn't turn it on the way Mahomes does it in the playoffs. So I just want him to get the monkey off his back, but I feel like the pressure is there, and he's just not played that well in the playoffs. So there's a reason why he is one, because he just is just not the same player. But I feel like, one or two, it gets in the conversation because of how much more dominant he is than every player in the league to me right now.
Lamar has said that he has played tight in the playoffs over the years. He has admitted it.
And he probably gets tighter the longer this goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just the narrative.
This is the first year, though, Chris. This is the first year he got the king right there with him.
King is right there with him.
Hopefully, we'll see.
That guy right there is what we call a pressure reliever.
King is right there with them.
That'd be funny. He relieves pressure. That a good. You got it. I mean, that pairing that's a sick pairing, man. Like
pairing, JB.
Huh?
It's a great pairing.
I know it's sick, man. Like it's sick. Go ahead, Joey. Who you got at number one?
Lamar. It's got to be. You cannot be a Lamborghini in 17 regular season games and then turn into a Pinto in January.
You gonna blame Lamar last year for that guy making a play at the goal line? That's Lamar's fault.
Jay Flowers. He was in, Joe.
That's all Flowers. Lamar played better last year. I do have to give him that. He
remember that was play calling too. They ran the ball 6 times against Kansas City last year.
Yeah.
Guess what's gonna happen? They won't run the ball 6 times on Sunday.
You're right about that. There is a healthy dose coming, and there better be a healthy dose of him running it also.
Yeah, you ever seen them take the horse semen bags? Oh, it's gonna be a dose, all right. It's gonna be more than a healthy dose, okay?
Heavy.
One of them horse semen guns.
Heavy dose. If he's gonna do it, you might as well do it in one of the most difficult places that you'll ever play. I know 2 years ago, Baltimore went up to Buffalo and they got embarrassed in the playoffs. So this is not an easy place. Up there. Yes, it is. It's going to be cold, and they got, again, the best 12th man in football is up there.
I think Seattle Seahawks would argue with you about that.
They definitely would.
They got an argument, maybe.
The Buffalo 12th man is just as good as anyone's, especially in January.
In January, that's
7 o'clock, 8.
That's what they're doing. Let
me tell you something too. Lamar. So Lamar is obviously my number one. Given the stats, my diatribe that I went last, all that for that. Now I will say this: the weather in Buffalo.
Like Big Sean just now. Last.
The weather in Buffalo. I have been told by my sources up north that this may be one of the coldest games of football ever played. Wow. Sunday night.
Let me tell you something. When it's cold, please tell me who wants to tackle Derrick Henry big ass.
That's a great question.
30 times.
Valid question.
We got him, JB.
Okay.
Valid question.
I'm telling you, man. When it's cold.
Let me tell you about this. I love watching Lamar. I love Lamar as a player, and he played quite well last week. So, those stats that I rang off, he's obviously improving quite a bit in those categories. So, I'm rooting for him. I'm just not rooting for him this week.
Understandable.
All right, nice. All right. My man Joey shout out to my man Joey, who finally came through with a parlay win on his lock of the week. I ain't like it, but it came through. He had the Commanders straight up. Also had also had. So he picked 2 dogs straight up, and they won.
Yeah.
That's a good move, man. Now the question is, how you gonna top it this week?
Oh, I
Let's
got
go.
it.
What's up with the lock?
Hey, JB,
Yes, sir.
can you give me a second here?
Oh, go ahead.
Just like a quick buttons minute might turn into 2 or 3 minutes.
Buttons minute. I'm just go ahead. You got the buttons minute. You're on the clock.
So JB, this is directed towards you this week.
Ooh,
I made some mistakes last week,
some shots at
and
JB.
I'm here to correct them.
Okay.
So JB, I was speaking too much from the heart last week when I was talking about the MVP discussion, and I want to make to you, the panel, and the millions the real case as to why I think Josh Allen should be the MVP this year, if you'll indulge me for a few
Oh, of
moments.
course, man. Take your time, man.
So let's start with the Pro Bowl. While Pro Bowl voting is done by the fans, it feels necessary to point out the difference in Pro Bowlers on both the Ravens and the Bills. Outside of Lamar Jackson, the Ravens had 8 players voted into the Pro Bowl.
Oh, how many on defense, Buttons?
Hang on, JB. Other than Josh Allen, the Bills had 1. Now, okay, you don't want to talk about Pro Bowls because it's so easy. Let's talk about all pros. Okay, the real monsters of the NFL every year. Lamar Jackson has 5 other players on the Ravens who were all pro selections. Josh Allen, other than him, had 0. This man has done it by himself all year long. Additionally, when you ask someone this season about the Ravens, they'll mention Lamar Jackson as 1A, but they'll also mention Derrick Henry as 1B. When you ask someone about the Bills, you think of one man, Josh Allen. Now, additionally, I want you to look at the alternatives and assess them here as well. If the Ravens had Tyler Huntley play all season, how good would Baltimore be? In a very difficult division, I'd say quite a bit worse, but not awful. If the Bills had Mitchell Trubisky all year,
Mitch,
how good would they be? I'll answer that question for you right now.
Y'all still would have won the division.
Absolutely terrible.
Y'all would have won your division with Mitchell.
One of the top arguments for any quarterback to win the MVP nowadays is your team record. The win differential between the Ravens and the Bills is only a single game for the 2nd straight year. If you don't count the Bills tanking the last game so New England doesn't get the first pick while also resting their starters for the playoffs. Because of this, the leading debate topic between these two players has changed to individual stats. Now, this topic angers me on so many levels for various reasons. If the MVP solely relied on stats, then the award should clearly be given to Joe Burrow. He has a statistically more impressive season than Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, but Burrow won't win MVP because his team went 9-8 and missed the playoffs. In last year's MVP debate, Allen had better stats than Jackson, yet didn't win the MVP. Finally, one of the biggest knocks on Allen's career has been his turnover problem. Allen went from throwing 18 interceptions last year to only 6 this year, and went from being sacked 24 times to only 14 times. Allen fumbled 5 times last year and lost 3. This year, he fumbled only once. No loss. Jackson did only throw 4 interceptions on the season, but he got sacked 23 times as well as fumbled 8 times, losing 4 of them. In the offseason, I'm almost done, JB. In the offseason, the Ravens signed Derrick Henry. And the Bills traded away all-pro wide receiver Stephon Diggs. Allen
argument buttons.
proceeded to have a season without a 1,000-yard wide receiver and barely a 1,000-yard running back, while Lamar had a 1,000-yard receiver and a running back who ran for 1,900 yards. To sum it up, am I biased? 100%. Am I wrong? Maybe. Am I willing to listen to an argument on why Lamar Jackson should win the MVP? Absolutely. Will I change my mind? Hell no. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, JB.
Here's just one quick argument for you. Josh Allen played in a sucky ass division. Lamar plays in pretty much the toughest division in the NFL.
There's Cleveland in there, JB.
Cleveland is there.
Had a down year last year. All Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and the Steelers all made the playoffs.
Standard is standard.
Standard is the standard.
We're gonna have a discussion about Tomlin here in a little bit because we keep giving Tomlin a pass too.
Next week.
Let's be real. We keep giving Tomlin a pass too. I saw some Tomlin McCarthy stats, and yeah, Tomlin getting the pass, bro. He passing right now, Joey. Trust me.
Who's had better players, JB?
The Steelers. Especially on defense.
Are you sure about that, JB?
Only difference is the Cowboys have probably had a better quarterback. I mean, but anyway, Tomlin is a great coach, but
quarterback, running back,
Joey, the standard is Joey,
line.
if the standard is get 10 wins, losing the playoffs, and do this and rinse and repeat, that's not a good standard to have.
I completely agree with you.
Okay, that's my only argument with that. But anyway, what's your lock for the week?
You and Chris, I completely agree with you.
Looking like alfalfa over there, bro, right now.
Kind of sounds like Mike Evans. Just having
as
average
said,
over and over and over again.
If you can fire Belichick, you can fire anybody.
And shame on you, Patriots, for interviewing all these guys, knowing you're going to hire Mike Vrabel.
They knew the entire time.
NFL is crap. Go ahead, Joey.
4-legger. It's going to be Saturday, Sunday NFL divisional playoffs plus 286.
Okay, plus 286.
3 wise men told me to stick with what works. This is all money line.
I am not even celebrating this because you're going to say the Bills, and no, I'm not.
I guess
put it down in your phone, JB.
You just gotta switch that one game out.
I guess you don't. Right. You're not like your wonderful father. You must not like winning money.
Dubs.
Oh, you that's blasphemy. you know you done lost your mind right there on that one.
Chiefs money line. Detroit money line.
Oh, way too easy.
Philly money line. Bills money line.
JB gone.
You should just take the Bills. Well, yeah, money line is probably Bills money line is probably even money, right? Is it even money? Because the line is -1 right now.
Yep. And that line moved, JB, because the Bills were favored, and then it moved all the way over.
So yeah, they probably will people will probably put money on the Ravens, so they switch it up on you. Change that and move that line a little bit. They got Chris over here bad, because Chris moved the books.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does. I'm
looking for any little piece of value. NFL is tough to find value. It's because the so spread out.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much time to let the games go out that if you don't bet early, it's tough. NFL is tough to bet.
Right.
Let's go, Joey. Lock it there, everybody. 4 legs, parlay, Chiefs, Lions, Philly, Bills. And I'm guessing if you look real good, it's probably some boosts out there too for these parlays on the playoffs this weekend. So then you probably can boost that number up if you get the right site.
I feel like they'll give a lot of stuff because people love betting around football
No,
time.
ESPN Bet gives out boosts every freaking day.
Hmm.
Like 30% boost on a parlay because it's a setup. But hey, I'll take it every once in a while. Every once in a while they come through. We'll see which I do FanDuel with this one. Then I do ESPN Bet and I'll throw the Ravens. Plus.
Well, the good thing is that you might be able to hedge out.
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's funny money.
Joey is gonna hedge out on a 50
I'm
cent.
betting $5. I'm betting $5.
I already asked me for my money back, Chris.
Already.
That's funny money. And if I'm betting 100, which I don't do, I probably bet 100 on stuff that's even worse though. Let me stop. Like on a pool, that's even worse than the freaking parlay. It's like a pool is. What's worse, Chris? A pool is parlay. What do you think is the worst percentage bet?
The worst odds? I mean, probably a pool because you're probably only it's usually 1 out of 100. So you got, you know what I mean? Depending on how big that is.
But you gotta see the scores though. So it's like the scores on both sides though, right? You gotta match two boxes on there.
Yeah, so that's probably, but generally the payout would probably be better, which is why it's the better odds. You know what I mean? I mean, worse odds, better payout.
All right. So what's the big boy? We're doing college basketball or NBA?
We're gonna do a mixture of college basketball, JB.
You in that MEAC?
I don't think I'm in the MEAC.
I messed around and put a MEAC bet in a parlay last week and paid the price.
Yeah, you don't mess with the MEAC.
Every line for those games are like -1. It don't matter what they play; it's always -1, -1.5. One team can be 13-5, other team can be 1-13. The line's still 1.5.
You're not joking.
I'm not lying, but the MEAC lines they're always funny money, man.
All right, so stay away. Got it.
They used to be all on Fridays. Are they not on Fridays now?
They don't have a lot of games. They don't have a lot of games.
It was always like MEAC and like Ivy League.
Maybe that will be back next week.
Yeah.
Well, this is an 8-legger. Calmed it down a little bit. Plus 7-12.
Yeah, you were out in the first game last week.
I think I was.
Yeah. All right, plus 7-12. Not bad.
Plus 7-12. Yes, JB, I was out on the very first game last week. The Fighting Jasmines, I believe, defeated Troy.
Yes. Yep, that is. It was. That was the one.
All right. College basketball. First parts. Providence at Nova. Nova, money line. DePaul at Georgetown. Hoya Saxa, money line.
DePaul took Marquette to overtime last night.
Marquette is a really good team right now.
DePaul took to overtime.
The Hoosiers at Ohio State. Buckeyes, money line.
They're calling for your boy's head right now. They had their worst home loss ever, one of the worst home loss ever against Illinois the other day.
Yeah, this is probably going to be it for them then.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be it.
Go ahead, look,
let's get those taps going.
Get the taps out for them.
Get the taps going. Mike Woodson is out.
They lost by 25 to Iowa.
Oh boy.
Wow, they're getting
crushed lately. Two losses in a row.
Cannot do that. And most of that Iowa team,
make it 3.
Most of that Iowa team plays defense on their football team.
That's right.
You can't lose to that.
Oh my God.
They D up.
Yeah.
Iowa, it doesn't matter.
Linebackers and corners.
That over under is 30.
Linebackers and corners on the
basketball. It what, Chris? Basketball or football? The over under is 30.
Always 30. It's always 30. It don't matter what game it is. If Iowa is involved, it's a 30.
About 2 years ago, boy, that was Money in the Bank. They're under for Iowa.
Yes, it was.
I remember they kept moving it down. They could never get it low enough.
I played that thing 9 weeks in a row. Hit every
time.
They couldn't get it low enough. They're like every week they kept saying it's like, nah, we're going lower.
One week was like 29 and a half.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Incredible. Still hit.
Still hitting.
Youngstown State.
So, GT, we got the Buckeyes. What's next?
Youngstown State at Milwaukee. Milwaukee money line.
It's
Man.
Giannis?
No.
I know, I'm just messing. Oh, serious buttons.
Oh my goodness, I thought for a second.
Iowa going out to UCLA. UCLA is struggling right now. Did you see what Cronin did the other day?
He was ripping buttholes.
Yes, he was. He ripped his team on national TV during the press conference, said he wants it more than they do. He's doing everything that he can.
He's like, I've got 500 wins or something like that.
Yes, he sure did. He's acting like this is not my fault. This is them.
He was like, they're not nearly as good as they think they are.
Yes, he did. I'm like,
Okay,
whoa.
Cronin.
So hopefully UCLA
Welcome to the Big Ten.
money line. UCLA money line. Then for the last 4 legs of this 8-legger, we're going to switch to the bottom.
That's gonna be 9 legs.
9-leggers.
8.
You do 4 more. That's gonna be 9.
You said 4 more, didn't you?
Now,
Yeah, he did. You said 4 more, man.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, sorry. 3 more.
Oh, okay.
All right.
We're going to go out to Southeast Asia because we're going to the Bahrain Darts Masters League.
No.
You just had to get you.
Darts.
And it actually starts at 11:10 a.m. because I got Luke Humphreys money line.
Luke Humphreys.
Joey wants that whole weekend sweat.
I got Luke Littler money line.
Luke, wait, hang on. Two Lukes?
Luke, this is the second Luke. Luke
right.
Littler. He's lit.
Littler.
Money line.
Oh, Lukey, the Lukies lit. Lit.
And Sir Peter Wright money line.
Peter.
He's a knight. He's been knighted.
He will be after he gets us this stack. Plus 712. 8-legger. That's right, Chris.
Make your money.
Rise, Sir Peter Wright.
When does the dart start?
The dart starts at 11:10 a.m.
Tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning.
Put your bet in already?
My bet is in, JB.
Did you already hit submit?
Submitted.
It wasn't a gray button.
No gray button.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
How much are they offering you back? Same amount?
Tell them they're already giving you. Go ahead. Tell us
that.
the part about how they giving you the cash out.
They already want to give it back.
They knew this guy was sharp when he
already.
When he put 2 Lukes like that, they knew.
They already want to give it back. I may take it. I don't know.
Yeah,
you may take it.
You may cash out. You may.
That right there always makes me giggle. I already
want it.
I may take it.
Is it? Do they offer you the exact same amount or it's lower?
The exact same amount, sometimes higher, Chris.
Sometimes
just a little bit higher.
If it's higher, that's actually showing you're getting a good line.
Yep.
They know this.
And then put another line in.
I think I've definitely I think I'm doing to them what you did to that Bet Rivers, Chris.
Yeah,
let me just tell you this, and then we're gonna go. What he just said about how they giving him money back is higher, that's a fallacy. That's a lie. Not true. Do not believe that, Chris. He is lying to you.
I've had it before where they've given me money back higher when the line moves.
If the line moves a ton, they might do that.
Hey.
Yeah, I've had it before. So
what's the line in the Detroit game again?
9.5.
All right, so
now,
that hasn't changed. So I do it. Oh, yeah, my cash out option is less actually for that. So
yeah,
I already bet that one.
Okay.
Which
You
other
went
one?
money line? You put the spread or money line? Spread.
Spread. Detroit.
There.
Which other ones
there we go.
What other ones have you bet? That's it.
But before, so what I bet, I've got open bets right now. Detroit not minus 9.5, $20. I don't normally bet $20, but I am very confident. I have a 3-legger. I didn't put anything in yet, but I have Kansas City, Detroit, and Philly on the money line. $5. Notre Dame plus 8.5, 10 on that.
Oh,
Okay.
I
And
might
that's
join you with that, but
That's it. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So you actually got a decent line at the plus 8.5. Was that alternate?
No.
So that line's actually now at -8 at some spots.
Okay.
So you're actually getting a better line.
Gotcha.
There you go. But
Yep.
just getting in early. Early's the way to go.
Yep.
I got an email that says on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is very unfavorable and 10 is favorable, what is your opinion of the Republican Party?
Oh boy.
I'm gonna leave it at that. Anyway,
That's the and stuff.
I'm not even gonna
Stuff.
respond to the text message. Not even gonna add to the ridiculousness. Okay. Anyway, guys, enjoy the football this weekend. We got the football this weekend. We got the Natty on Monday, MLK Day, basketball all day to get you ready for the football at night.
Don't forget darts.
Oh, we got darts tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow.
Get up early, get your bets in, and keep stacking.
Keep stacking.
And cash out if possible.
Next week we're gonna start the show with either 2 songs. One, you either be going, hey, or we're gonna come out with
One of the songs.
Are we gonna do the show? Are we gonna do the show on Wednesday or Thursday next week, JB? Do you know?
I think we should be good. I mean, usually we were doing Wednesdays or changing it up because of Joey's schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But
you know what? Actually, my poker game, I had to move my poker game to Tuesday next week because my kid has a Wednesday night game, but those games are over before 9 o'clock. So I'm good either day, actually. So we're good.
You're on.
I'm gonna pop one of these days.
I'll be on, even if they lose, because I'm a man.
Absolutely, Buttons.
One of these days, I'm gonna pop up at one of your kids' games. You feel like, Jamie, let's go. Oh,
come on,
I'm gonna pop up and watch. You'll be like, that JB over there?
Love it.
It's just like, hold on, is that JB? Just some random guy in the corner
with the sweet potato pie in his right hand.
Now we're talking.
I didn't forget it. No, actually, I was trying to order it and send it to you.
Yeah,
it was selling out though.
Yes, that's what.
Wow, really?
That's what they do. But
I was online. Was like, okay,
you ain't never had nothing like it, Buttons.
I want to start.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be worth the wait, Buttons.
Yeah.
Worth the wait. All right, Joey. So you got to get up in the morning. Have a good day at work tomorrow.
Thank you.
Stay warm, guys. Have a great weekend.